Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV, people. I'm here. This is the first time I'll be commentating a kickboxing event. It'll be Glory 77. I'm actually pretty excited to see. It's a pretty good card. I'm really interested to see this card actually. It is bright and early here in Sydney. We're actually in Wollongong, 6 a.m. Let's see how we go with this card. I'm interested in, particularly in Alex Pereira, who's the last person to knock out, or the only person to knock out Israel Adesanya, who's storming through the middleweight division at and holding the belt in the UFC in the middleweight division, and he's going for the light heavyweight belt. So Alex Pereira had a stunning knockout win, has 2 victories over Israel. So I'm really interested to see how it goes. Thank you for joining me bright and early. It is a pretty crazy card for those fans of kickboxing. I probably won't be able to do the timer the same way that I would have before. I'm good, Oliver, man. How are you? How's everything going? I don't think he KO'd Izzy. I don't think Simon Marcus KO'd Izzy. I think he won a decision. He won, like, they fought 3 rounds, or they fought however many rounds it was, and then they fought an extra round. So I don't think he KO'd him. I could be wrong though. Let me know if he did. I could be wrong. I don't think so. No. Simon Marcus won. Simon Marcus won, but he didn't. I think it was a decision, and they went like 3 rounds, an extra round. I remember watching the fight. I don't remember Israel getting knocked out. Hey, Greg Picken from Scotland. How are you, my friend? It's early here. It's early here. I'll tell you this. I'm yeah. So we're very early for this card. I was and Pereira as well is interesting because his sister is on the card as well, and she can fight, man. She can really fight as well. Um, and then the girl that she's fighting as well, she's had a whole bunch of fights. She was like 2019 female fighter of the year, so that's going to be a cracker for me as well. Those guys, the men that fight. The thing that struck me, I was in when we did the Ultimate Fighter House in Vegas. Anderson Silva, not Anderson Silva, the MMA fighter, Anderson Silva, the kickboxer. He was he was in our team in the house. And the thing that always strikes me about the kickboxers is their size. They're just huge men, like all heavyweights are huge, but they're huge men, and the way that they can kick and punch, the fluidity and the speed with which they throw their strikes, the versatility and dexterity in their legs at heavyweight is something to behold. Like, they kick so hard and so fast and with dexterity and at different angles. That at heavyweight, these guys are huge. Like, Anderson Silva's big, but he's not a giant amongst heavyweights. But some of these guys are huge, and the dexterity and the speed in which they kick is nothing short of phenomenal. So up on the screen now, they're just talking about Alex Pereira and Aline Pereira, and they're just saying how many. She's a number 2 super bantamweight. Alex Pereira is a glory middleweight champion, light heavyweight interim champion. He's won everything. Yeah, some of you may or may not know. Yeah, we had Cedric on the podcast. Such a cool character. Very good fighter. Interesting person. I don't know. I want Cedric to win against. I'm gonna say some of his names wrong, because I don't. They don't just roll off my tongue. These like Dutch names and that. Groenhart, yeah, against Murthel, and I think that Cedric will win this fight. I just think Cedric at the moment is looking pretty good, man. Like he does everything good. You know, he's powerful, he's strong, he's technical. He can fight if he has to fight as well. So I think he's got a really good mix there to win this fight. Um, yeah, man, Rico Verhoeven moves freaky. You know, like these guys are huge. Like that's the thing that surprised me about Anderson Silva as soon as I saw him was he's a big guy and he's got dexterity in his kicks, and he's not even known as like the guy with the best movement of punches or kicks in the kickboxing world. But he moves really well. Like his ability to kick and punch and knee is surprising. So yeah, that's the stuff that really got to me when I saw him. Obviously these guys. I actually, because Cedric's talking about going to the UFC, he was always talking about it. He actually talked about, I think, on the Joe Rogan podcast as well. He spoke about um, fighting Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz, and on our podcast as well, he was talking about his transition to MMA and how he's already training MMA. Um, he's already talking. He's already training MMA, so I think that's pretty amazing. You know, like yeah, this guy's ability, this Cedric's very important, very interesting guy. Very like I'd love to see him in the UFC. I'd love to see him not necessarily just in the UFC, maybe at Bellator or wherever, but I'd love to see him in MMA because I'd love to see him against some top guys because he's such an athlete as well. He's such an athlete that it would not be easy for him to it would not be easy for anyone to have to fight him. You know, so I'd be interested in that fight, but especially with I think guys that aren't out and out wrestlers, they're going to be just trying to take him down. Because I think either one of those guys, Pettis or Diaz, if they get him on the ground, there's going to be a huge advantage to them. They're both very good grapplers. Obviously, Nate Diaz is a fantastic grappler, but they are going to stand with him. They are going to stand with him for a period, and that's when it's going to be really interesting. Luke Peterson asks, "Thank you so much for supporting, guys. You can also support us with PayPal. I want to give a massive shout out, and I'll give a shout out to her when she comes on, Valeria, who supported us on PayPal. So if you can support us on PayPal, YouTube doesn't take as big of a hit from us as they do it when with this. Thanks heaps, sir. Any support is appreciated in any single way. And when you guys watch the show with us, just the people that are commenting and talking and we're etc. That's what matters the most, more than anything, you know. So thank you so much. Luke Peterson, thank you so much. Who's the most underrated fighter in the UFC, Fab? It'll be a funny one, I think, right now to me. Although he's the champion, is probably Volkanovski. I think he's underrated. I think for some reason I don't really understand why. Because like regardless of who you think won or how he won or whatever, him having those two fights with Max, and then you watch Max against Keita, and you realize, and you saw Max against Ortega, and you go, holy shit, he had these two super good close fights with that guy with Max Holloway, but people talk like he's not good, you know. Um, so I think he's probably one of the most underrated guys at the moment because they just don't give him the credit that he deserves. Unbeaten in the UFC, you know, like whether you like it or not. And I think it's testament to how good he is when you see how close that fight was with Max, regardless. Then you see Max against other people, and you go, oh, "Shit, that's how good Alex Volkanovski is." So, yeah, I probably think Alex at the moment, the guy that springs to mind. Like if we do like word association when you say that, I think it's him. I'd like to see Rico in the UFC versus Blades or another kickboxer like Rosenstruck would be crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see him against Blades because I think Blades will get him down at this stage of his career, unless I don't know, unless Rico's been doing crazy ass takedown defense. Against Rosenstruck would be a good introduction into that division for sure. Ortega's underrated. I think Ortega's a very, very good fighter. Yeah, I don't know if he's underrated. I don't know. He doesn't spring to mind to me as someone that's underrated. To me, but we all see things differently. Looks like they're giving Rob the Costa fight. You expecting a quick finish for Rob? Rob said something a while back about not being interested in it. Might as well though, with Israel busy at light heavyweight. I mean, what do I see Rob, honestly, with all due respect to Costa, I see Rob finishing him. Yeah, I see Rob finishing. My honest opinion, aside from any biases which I may have, which I do have, which I'm putting that out there. I think Rob's too quick. I don't think Costa has dealt well with the jab. He didn't deal well with the jab against Israel. He didn't do well with the jab against Uriah Hall. So I do see that being a problem for Costa, and I think Rob's speed. It's very very hard for you to gauge that speed until you've been in there with him or held pads for him or something like that. He's very, 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 very fast, man. Very quick, and he's very quick from point A to point B. You know, so he can go. He can move from one point of the octagon to the other very, very quickly. Um, and he's throwing bombs. He's throwing heat in doing that. And I don't. You have to have the ability to move in those small circles, side to side, laterally, forward and backs, and be long. You know, I think that's the kind of guy you have to be to be able to counter that ability that Rob has. So people like Wonder Boy, people like Israel, people like Uriah, those kind of guys that can slide in and out and move in and out. They can do that and spin and move, check hook when Rob comes in. Those guys have a better chance of beating Rob, and obviously they have achieved, success against him. But I don't see Costa having that kind of success. I think I see him coming forward, and he's not physically, he's not going to be stronger than Rob. I can guarantee you that. I see him trying to come forward, but Rob's good off his back foot as well, and his vocabulary strikes are larger than Costa as well. I can't go into it too much because I know stuff, like I actually know stuff that I can't just speculate. I know it, and so that's what I think as far as that's concerned. Can Costa catch him? Of course he can catch him. Rob, Costa's a powerful, strong man. You know what I mean? That knows how to fight and can fight and is experienced in fighting, has fought for the belt. So, he can definitely fight and he could catch him, but I just don't see that happening. To be honest with you, I don't really even see him getting close to catching Rob. That's just the way they match up. It's no disrespect to Costa, but I see Gastelum being a bit of a harder matchup for Rob than Costa, just because Gastelum again has that ability to slide in and out. He's got very fast hands. He hits very hard. He's dropped everyone that he's fought at middleweight except Tilt, I think. And so yeah, I see that being a little bit harder for him. Like just the kind of way they match up. But I think Costa is going to struggle with him a lot. Fab, what time is it for you? It's 1:10 here in Iowa. Man, it's 6:15. So I had to get up at like 5ish for this. So this is going to be interesting. I have my green tea now. The guys are walking into the ring now. So I just want to make sure that I've got things right. So we have Tavares versus Abena. See, these guys are big too, man. Like, they're both well over 190, and they're like 190 in centimeters and 94, 95 kilos, which is huge guys. These are tall, long guys. That's the thing that gets you with the kickboxers. As soon as you see them, they're tall, they're rangy, and they have massive dexterity in their ability to throw from different angles. That's the thing. After spending, how long did we spend there? Spent something like 6 to 8 weeks or something like that, or 6 weeks, whatever. However long the Ultimate Fighter takes to film, spending that time with Anderson Silva and just seeing like how big and how well they can move is really, really like surprising, you know. Alistair versus Alex, striker versus striker type matchup. Are you talking about Alistair versus Alex Pereira? But Alistair's way bigger, man. He's way, way bigger. Way bigger. I've seen Alex Pereira in real life as well. Like I've been like right next to him as well. And he's built more like Israel. Like he's not a massive guy. You know, he's not a massive guy. Overeem's the thing with Overeem and people like Overeem matching up versus like Alex Pereira or even Israel, is that I believe Overeem has enough kickbox. Like he's a good kickboxer in his own right, and his grappling's good. His takedowns are actually quite good. His grappling is good. Good afternoon, Joseph. Thank you for watching, man. I really appreciate it. Oh, my thoughts on Askren versus Paul. I'm rooting for Ben, but Paul's boxing is way smoother. I actually think that Paul has better boxing than Ben. Um, and I think he's like been working that much longer than Ben has actually boxed. I think Ben put his boxing in the look, Ben look, his boxing looks funny, but I I think in if he's in the clinch with you and he's got the threat of the takedown and that, like it wouldn't be pleasant. Having said that though, that's not what's gonna happen. There's no threat of the takedown. You've got big gloves. Boxing has its own essence, you know. Your ability and knowledge of how to use the gloves, etc. That's big. We're off, people. Tavares versus Abena. I'll just make this bigger. To the body by Abena. Big left hook by Tavares. Tavares in the southpaw stance. Abena now Tavares has gone back to orthodox. See that's a front kick by Tavares straight to the body. Left kick overhand right by Abena. Liver shot by Abena. Oh, big right hand landed by Abena. These guys are huge, man. Right knee to the head by Abena. Spinning attack by Tavares. So Tavares standing in the southpaw stance. Right kick by Abena, but Tavares took it on the gloves. I'm not as familiar with these guys, obviously, as I am with the UFC guys, but I really like Glory, so I'm glad people you got me up to watch this live. Swing and a miss with the left hook by Abena. Tavares with a low kick. Nice low kick by Tavares. Jab by Tavares, front kick. Abena keeps looking for those big shots over the top. He swings that right hand. He has found some success with it, though. Jab by Tavares, inside low kick by Abena. Tavares looks like he shot a single leg there and he's pushed Abena up against the cage, pushes off on him. There's a little bit of bad blood. I'm not really familiar with it. If anyone knows the story of all the bad blood, please let me know. Jab by Tavares, inside low kick by Abena, inside low kick by Tavares. 1-2 by Tavares. Front kick by Tavares. Another front kick. Left hand lands by Abena. Nice knee down the middle by Abena. Both guys clinching now. Front kick landed again by Tavares. Calf kick by Tavares. Inside kick by Abena. Man, these guys are swinging so hard in that pocket when they get in boxing range. They're both going looking for that left hook. Tavares fighting from the southpaw position. Now he's gone back to orthodox combination, goes looking for that left hook again. Both guys in exchange punches. Ooh, the Bena's getting the read because he's getting this read on Tavares because when he throws those power shots, Tavares has dropped his head a couple of times and Abena keeps looking for that knee. Right kick by Tavares, but taking on the gloves of Abena. Then Abena goes looking for a left body rip. Both guys exchange punches in the pocket. Spinning heel kick by Tavares. Impressive first round, man. That's why I love Glory. I love K1 kickboxing and all that. The way that they fight, just the speed and the strength at which they fight. It's very, very exciting. The rounds are short. The guys are huge. It's crazy. So it says counter-attacking switch hitter, which he is. He is. But the thing is, he goes into southpaw, and then he goes back to orthodox. So it doesn't really fight out of the southpaw stance as much as you'd think. But Abena definitely is a power puncher, and he's been looking for that overhand right and the big left hook. Wow. I love kickboxing, not as knowledgeable in the sport as boxing, but thoughts on the co-main event and the main event for this glory card. I find it hard. You mean in the Rico fight? I find it hard to go against Rico, and in the Alex Pereira, I'm going to go with Alex. I just think that he's in form at the moment. So Tavares went looking for that calf kick again. Most judges gave that to Abena. I thought Abena looked like a little bit more dangerous. One judge gave it to Tavares. But Tavares goes looking for that kick again. Knee down the middle by Abena. Combination. They're clinching. The boys are clinching up against the ropes. Abena's looking for those power shots. And he landed a nice jab down the middle then. And goes looking for that overhand right. Glances off Tavares' head. Front kick down the middle by Tavares. Again, when he drops his head there, Abena went looking for that left high kick. They trade jabs. Nice combination by Tavares, but taken on the gloves of Abena. Abena again goes looking for that overhand right. And he's smart because what he does is when he goes looking for those big power shots and Tavares drops his head, he goes looking for a knee or a high kick, left high kick, right high kick. A jab to the body by Abena. Then he goes looking for the knee, misses on the right hand, and almost eats a combination thrown by Tavares. But I will say this: Abena's defense with boxing is very, very tight. Not much gets through. I wonder though, in the later rounds, how much it's going to affect the amount of power he's putting behind the right hands and the left hooks. Ooh, right hand landed by Tavares. Jab by Abena. Right hand glances off Tavares' head by Abena. Again, with a low kick is Tavares. He looks for a spinning back kick, glances off the body of Abena. Abena again lands that inside leg kick. What I like about watching the kickboxing as well, you just see people systematically destruct someone with those kicks, with those punches, with those body shots. Another low kick landed on the calf by Tavares. Having my green tea, people. Jab landed by Abena. Nice exchange. Left hook for a right hand. The right hand got the better of it. I'm really impressed with Abena's defense in the boxing range on the gloves. Really, really good at it. Ooh, nice head movement by Tavares. Answers back with a left hook. Goes looking for the uppercut, does Tavares, goes looking for the front kick again. And these guys are so tough. I often wonder, like I honestly often wonder how these guys can take the shots that they take, on the body, on the shins, on the elbows, on the ribs. It's I mercy. I really don't understand it. Mitch G, morning princess. Morning to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Oh, who wins? Thank you, Luke. Man, you're a champion. Thank you so much. Who wins? Ngannou versus four times 4 foot Romero's. Um, I have to go with Francis. I don't think anyone can take Francis's shots, and I don't see Romero being able to slide out of the way of the shots as quickly as he used to. So he'll knock 4 of them. He'll knock all 4 of them out. Someone else who got struggles with buying the pay per view. I don't know. My wife did that for me, luckily, because I'm kind of illiterate. And we're going to kick off the third round here. The thing that's interesting as well, like in Holland, it's like it's so concentrated, the city. And so a lot of these guys, like, they've either trained together or they've trained before. They like, you see each other, you know what I mean, or you know of each other, because it's very like kind of inbred. Everyone knows each other. It's not like, I mean, we don't have like massive production here, like in Australia, like they do for Glory. We don't have like an organization like that. I think Australia would be similar. It's not like the US has over 300 million people, across 50 states. And, you could be, people in New York will have enough people there to, that to have their, like, you might fight in the South and never deal with someone from a regional circuit that's up in New York, is what I mean. Um, Whereas their country's small, like in Holland is a small country. It's got a lot of people, but it's a small country. And so there's so many fighters in such small concentrated areas, and so you all kind of know each other one way or another. So it's that also brings, I think, a really important energy to the kickboxing, because there's like all these little feuds and that, like, in between the camps, in between the teams, guys that have trained together, guys that haven't, guys that have sparred together. I really enjoy that as well. It's just it's like the beef, but it's real, and it isn't fabricated. So now we have Tavares in southpaw stance, and Abena's picking at him. There's 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in round 3. Tavares is not coming forward as he was early on. He throws a front kick down the middle. Abena's looking to come forward and land bigger power shots. Oh, nice leg kick landed by Tavares. Again with the calf kick is Tavares. Tavares now in the southpaw stance. He throws a straight lead left, right knee up the middle by Abena, glances off the head of Tavares. Abena throws a combination. Tavares gets out of the way and lands that calf kick again. How Abena just takes those calf kick shots, man, I really don't know, because it really hurts, man. It really hurts. And it can do a lot of damage. And and he's a big guy throwing him too. Jab to the body by Tavares. Goes to the body, does Tavares, and then goes upstairs with the left hook. Goes looking for that left hook again. Jab down the middle by Abena. Front kick to the body. Goes spinning back kick to the body, does Tavares. But the problem is Abena's seeing it coming and getting out of the way. Hits Tavares with a nice left hook on the break there. They exchanged combinations. I think Abena won that. That's the bell. I think Abena won that one. This would be my first. Carl Onso says this will be my first Glory pay per view. Is it worth it? It's absolutely worth it. It is absolutely worth it. This seems to be a a particularly good card itself. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like it's going to be a good card. It's certainly stacked. It's certainly stacked. And I was looking at some figures, like, one of the glories, like the last one or something, was they had it on Dutch TV as well, and it became the highest rating the highest rating show on Dutch TV at like that year. You know, it trended like 5, 4, 3, number one by the time the main event came on. So it's huge in Holland. You know what I mean? And so what I mean by that is like the production's there, the fights are there. So yeah, no, it's a good card, man. Good morning from California, Antoine Roy. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you so much. Brekkie bongs or what, Fab? I actually do not partake in that, but I'm definitely having some green tea to wake myself up because it is quite early here for me, and I do imagine that if I did have breakfast bongs, I'd be straight back asleep. The price point is great for some high level kickboxing. Yeah, man. Like it's really like the level is really high, man. I'm really pumped for this. I actually don't get excited a lot for women's fights a lot. Not because I don't think women are good fighters or anything like that. Um, I don't know. There are some women's fights that I really enjoy watching, but I feel that a lot of the times with the women's fights, good girls like Shevchenko, Nunes, people like that, are miles ahead of the next people down. You know, like um, that's just the only thing. Like the women's sport is still growing. The sport of MMA, and it still has large discrepancies in it. But I'm looking forward to this particular fight because the girl that Pereira's fighting next, she's very good. She's got a good history, and Pereira is kind of stepping up, in my opinion, to fight her. And but I really am interested in that fight. Luis Tavares, he won, unanimous decision. Did Luis Tavares? I didn't see it like that. See, I didn't see it like that. But the thing I like about now they're talking, they're really close to each other, talking. I don't know if they're talking nicely or angry talking. No, they're angry talking. They're angry talking to each other. But the thing also that happens with these shows is they fight each other a lot too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you fight people 2, 3 times. You know, and it's good. I like Laurie. I like the whole thing. I like that you see them fight each other a lot. When does the main event start? Oh, I don't know, man. It started at 6 a.m. The pay per view. If you're waiting for the last fight, it'll be a couple of hours. Um, Sasang says, I never thought about it, but I think Rob would be a great kickboxer. He has a hip mobility and speed. Yeah, he definitely would be. Um, his style, though, his style of striking has been really refined for MMA, if you know what I mean. It hasn't. He wasn't a guy like he started off in karate, but he wasn't a guy that was like, I'm gonna do kickboxing or I'm gonna do boxing like Israel. Israel started kickboxing and MMA kind of not exactly at the same time, but he debuted in MMA 3 years after Rob. You know, like he didn't. It wasn't like he was a kickboxer and never did MMA. So he had a kickboxing style that he refined it to MMA. So he was doing kickboxing, but he was also doing MMA. Rob was a striker that went from karate straight to karate hapkido, but straight to MMA. So his striking was always catered and tailored to MMA. He'd have to go and do uh, some time in just kickboxing. Because he is quite different in the way that he strikes. Um, Yeah, with three threes, they can really go for it. That's the thing with it. They're big guys. They can strike hard. There's 3 3 minute rounds, and they can really really go for it. Yeah, I agree with you, Kelvin. Big guys shouldn't be allowed to be that quick. Man, the heavyweights, like it's scary, man. It's really really scary. The way that these guys that fight in glory and that can throw they can throw the punches and kicks from different angles with dexterity, with speed. It's it's impressive. Very, very impressive. um Sosa Youngin says, I'm not in sync with your pay-per-view. What's happening right now? Because right now, um, they're interviewing Tavares. That's all that's happening right now. Um, when will the fight with that fight won't be for another couple of hours? Nurek and Dictatorship Destroyer. The Vakhitov versus Pereira fight won't be for another couple of hours, I would imagine, or an hour or so. There's second last fight of the night. We just had the first fight of the night. Um, now, like I'm here with the comments now. I'm just behind in the comments. Um, Joe Forbes, Joe Forbes says, "Morning, Fab. That's my surfing coach, people. So Joel Forbes is my surfing coach, and man, that guy can surf. I'm telling you now. I've never, I can't. It's not much of a compliment for me to say I haven't seen a lot of people surf like him because I'm not really a surfing person, but he's definitely a gun surfer. Um, who do I have? Izzy versus Jan. Um, Izzy. I think Izzy is he has just that different dexterity, that different ability to move. But Jan is a monster. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I do think that people kind of underestimate Jan. There you go. You asked me about underrated fighters. There's another guy who's underrated. Jan, I think, as well. Um, I think Israel will probably win. I think he's a little bit too slick, a little bit too smooth. Um, and that fight, I think, unless Jan can get it to the ground and make it different, I think it's going to be a fight that's fought in a realm where Israel is very comfortable in, and I don't think that Jan is going to be like he'll be bigger, he'll be thicker, bigger guy because he is just a bigger guy, but Israel's a big guy as well, man. I say it every single time. I'm getting sick of saying it. The other thing is like you can't just look at the weight. People go, "Oh, he's 202 pounds, and so he does 198, whatever it is." Dude, that guy, right? He'd be 93 kilos walking around, 95 kilos walking around, right? Easily, easily. I'm telling you this easily. No matter what anyone says, he's a big guy, and he's nothing but skin, bone, and muscle. That's it. It's not like people go, "Oh, no, this guy's 230 or whatever." And you look at the guy, but the guy's not going to move that well. Like he's not he's not as lean as Israel. Israel's like a athletic, lean guy. He's just bone and muscle. So when he cuts weight, because he cuts weight, believe me, he cuts weight. When he cuts weight, it's just the water. It's just the water in that's held in the muscles that he's losing. He in the weeks and months prior to it, he wasn't losing body fat. The guy's just a greyhound. Um, which champion do you think would be able to make the best impression in MMA? Which champion from um, Glory are you talking about? Well, Alex just had a big win in MMA recently. If that's what you mean. Um, do I think that Alex Pereira ever gets to UFC if he focuses on MMA? As I was reading an interview that Alex did about this, and I think that what I find with Alex Pereira is that and he has a passion for kickboxing. He has a passion for it specifically, and so he the way he sees it, like he was talking about his evolution as a kickboxer and his evolution as somebody um, that the levels that he sees in his own kickboxing game and in the kickboxing game in general, and I think that I find that his mind and his heart is still in kickboxing. I think he's a great fighter, and I think he'll be able to fight and beat a lot of people in MMA. Should he want to focus on MMA, I think he'd be highly, highly successful. But I also feel that his heart and his mind and the way that he thinks is he's a kickboxer in his heart. I don't think that about Israel. I think that Israel is a very, very great kickboxer, um, but he's always had that MMA. MMA was always at the end result, And I think the gym, whilst they've always had really good kickboxers at a city, kickboxing, Auckland, everywhere, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, always have had good kickboxers. But that gym in particular has always had the flavor of MMA mixed in there with their kickboxing. So it's a little bit different. I didn't see the ONE FC fight, but I wanted to watch Rug and I'm gonna watch him now. Who do I think Godzilla versus Kong? I'm gonna go with Godzilla. Just his dexterity, just his ability to be in the water, out of the water. That's pretty big, man. You can't you could drown Kong quite easily. What's the best advice you got during 2020? There were a lot of lessons in 2020. I don't know what advice, the best advice I would have got, but I think one of the things if I amalgamate all the advice and everything that I had did take, I can't single something out, but I would say to just keep going. You know what I mean? Keep going. You don't have to go super fast or super hard or do anything. But the one thing that I learned, and I kind of knew this, but it became really evident, is you just got to keep doing stuff. Like it doesn't matter if like it doesn't matter what the end result's going to be. Like say for example, I've got to do this podcast. I don't know how many people are going to watch. I don't know if anyone's going to watch, but me doing something means that other things are going to happen from it. So maybe I do this podcast and I really like it, and I end up doing all the glory cards, and whatever happens from that happens. But you have to keep doing stuff, and then that in and of itself is going to create more stuff to happen. It's going to open other doors. So sometimes you get kind of stuck like that in certain situations, and you just have to know you just have to keep moving. It just doesn't matter what you're doing. You just got to keep moving because you got to start to create momentum in your life, and it's very hard for you to overcome inertia. So if you stop and you just let things take over, like other things take over, and you are now reactive to everything that's happening, it's hard. My opinion. That's probably my biggest advice that I learned. And I took that advice from different people and whatnot. And you have to just keep creating that momentum. That is my idea. Um, Yeah, so Pereira does compete in MMA, yep, which very, very aware of that. It's a little bit lackluster compared to his kickboxing. Yeah, I think that look, Alex Pereira as well, like if he was to go into MMA, I think if he's given the right time to develop, the right opponents, he would be, yeah, super, super impressive. Um, Hypothetical fight, but definitely one that will happen in the future. But who wins out of former training partners Ngannou versus Cyril Gane? Ooh, look, Cyril is a really, really impressive person, man. I can't tell you right now that he'd beat Francis. I think Francis is like he's at the top. You know what I mean? And Cyril is coming up. He's looking fantastic. I'm watching here Alex training with his sister. Just the way he moves, man. He's another guy's built like that. Like just muscle, bone, and skin. That's it. That's what it is. Um, yeah, and his sister looks about the business, man. She just looks serious, man. She looks like a serious person. I love the way they move, you know. I love the way these guys move effortlessly, the way they throw their punches and their combinations. I'm really looking forward to this fight. Says Costa versus Rob for the undisputed title or the interim title. I don't know. I don't even know what they're fighting for exactly right now. Um, they're yeah, like if they want to make an interim title, but the problem is they can't because Israel didn't vacate the belt, so the belt's not vacated. Um, yeah, I'm just watching them move on in the just him and his sister, and they move really well, man. And his sister has power as well. She's got power and good timing. I like it. I want to see this fight. I'm pumped for this fight. Um, Ghani is a prospect. He moves fast for a heavyweight, but I want to see him against like a good wrestler. See how he does. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I want to see Ghani against a couple of different guys. Like the thing with Francis is that he's shown that man, he's got power and he can land that power and he's got a knack for landing it. Because all the heavyweights have power. He's got crazy power, of course, but it's Francis has found the cheat code, you know, to be able to put it on. So that's what's impressive. Yeah, like I'm just even watching now the interviews with Pereira, Alex, and I think his focus, his mind, his soul, in his heart. I think kickboxing's in his heart. Like the stuff that he wants to achieve, like he just finished saying a second ago, is he wants to achieve what nobody else in kickboxing has achieved. You know, in glory. Um, so he wants to fight for the light heavyweight belt. He wants to fight, you know, which he is. Um, so that to me is a guy that's focused on that. You know, I don't see him really focused necessarily on MMA in the same way that he would be with kickboxing. Caleb, hi Fab, first time being able to watch your commentary live. Love what you're doing, Caleb. Thank you so much for watching, man. Thank you so much for supporting. I really appreciate it, man. Um, so what do you mean length equals knockout power? Do you mean the length? I don't understand. Oh, it's just me. I don't understand. I want to see these girls fight, eh? And it's a very good card, you know. Super bantamweight as well. The girls, I love the skill that they have, their ability to move and to just the shots they land. Like in kickboxing, I just like on the toll that it would take on your body. Like you really feel the shots. Like you feel, you know, you get kicked in the legs, in the arms, in the body. She's aggressive, man, as well, Aline. It's going to be a good fight. These kickboxers have next level hip mobility. No, they certainly do. What I like as well is a lot of them have karate backgrounds as well, and then they kind of train, you know, for whatever reason, whether they like the guy that's fighting Alex in the final round, he had a karate background up until he was 11, and then because he moved cities, that's when he started Muay Thai, and you know, went all the way as a master of sport in Muay Thai in Russia, which means he would have had a podium finish at Russian level, and he's had more. Like he's gone and had finishes at in European championships and whatnot. So they've got their vocabulary of strikes is so large, man, so large. A lot of them are karate black belts, and then they also have done a lot of Muay Thai, and then they trained specifically this kickboxing style. So their knowledge of a striking skill set is very high. Yeah. Lankiness, being tall and long. You definitely have very good leverage. You have very good levers, and the thing with these guys is just their ability to find the chin, the precision, to find the liver, and their timing with the leg kicks and that. People do not understand. Like these guys know the leg kicks are coming, and the guys being gender neutral term here because the girls as well. When you can land the kicks the way they land them on people that know that the kicks are coming, man, that's an art. Because you kick wrong and you check that they check it, they can break your foot. It's not just the lankiness that gives you the power. A lot of it's got to do with like the size of your hands, the size of your wrists. Um, like you see those tall, lanky people with like thick bones, like thick wrists, thick calves, big hands, they're gonna hit hard. They're going to hit hard. Um, I'm not that kind of person. Like my hands aren't that big. I've got like little wrists. I don't generate a lot of power when I punch. But those people that you see and they're long, that fucking best example, Israel Adesanya. He's a long dude, but when you see him in real life, his hands are like a bunch of bananas, man. He's got huge hands, like thick kind of wrists. Like his legs look thin until you get up close to him. He's got big, thick, like hamstrings, quads. Like he's a big, strong boy. That guy can hit hard. Alex Pereira, same deal. He hits hard. His sister, same deal. Um, Tony Ferguson, one of them lanky, thick density people. Yeah, but Tony is like, I don't know his style. He doesn't seem to generate a lot of power either. But he goes out there to break you. He just goes out there to break you. So, but he can take a shot though. EKSSF. Yeah, exactly right, man. You're exactly right with that. So the girls are walking out now. Tiffany is doing her first defense of her title against Aline. She's walking out. It's so eerie watching her walk out to a completely empty stadium. There's a few people out there, but the stands are completely empty. She looks very athletic. She looks like a really good athlete. She's climbing over the top rope now, stomps her feet. She's ready to go. Um, Hanoi Tripper, a lot like Alfie Langer, short but strong with thick wrists. Yeah, Alan Langer is just a little nuggety dude, eh? Um, Sir, can Justin do to Connor what Dustin did? Initially, I would have picked Connor. I would have picked Connor. I would have said Connor is way too good of a boxer, way too good with his movement to fall into that kind of game with Justin. I still tend to think that Connor will be able to find the chin, find the big shots to land on Justin. And Justin, to me, takes a little bit too much damage like that. And Connor still carries a lot of power. The thing that if Connor fights exactly how he fought Dustin, then I think Justin can do something similar because he can take that leg away and he doesn't have to kick from the south. He doesn't have to kick from the orthodox to southpaw. He can kick, he can throw a strike or whatever, and step forward. What switching his stance like Mike Chandler did. And Mike Chandler threw that left hook, but Justin Gaichi can throw something, step in, and then throw from the southpaw stance, throw that calf kick as well. And he does throw very damaging kicks. I find it hard to believe that Connor won't address that. That Connor won't address that movement, and I would tend to think that Connor wins that fight. You but I don't know. I don't know. Yes, he can. The short answer is yes, he can. I don't know that he will, and I would favor Connor in that fight. Although I like Justin Gaethje a lot. Um, Yeah, it depends with that. Like, here I thought that Dustin was going to have a hard time trying to execute the perfect game plan against Connor, incorporate his wrestling kicks. I expected a Connor to beat Eddie light on his feet. Yeah, I thought he was going to fight light on his feet too. I don't know exactly why the clinching as well. It was only ever going to be to his detriment. So I don't know why he I don't know why that happened. I don't know why he fought like that. As far as one like the knockouts and that as well, as you go up in competition, it's different as well. Like you can get a few knockouts as you're coming through, but then when you come up, the guys that can knock out at high end competition, they're the guys that really have the punching, not just power, but the precision and the timing as well. So Tony, as he got higher up, he wasn't knocking people out like that one shot knockouts. We're off, people. The girls have started. Tiffany's fainting. She comes over the top. She feints a right kick and comes over the top with a right hand. Aline is throwing her jab, checks a kick, does Pereira. She's significantly taller and longer than Tiffany is Pereira. Both girls very wary of each other. This is high level, man. I really enjoy it. They're both feinting. They're both trying to get each other to bite on the feints. Tiffany's looking for that overhand right. Pereira swings and a miss with a left high kick. So interesting thing there that Tiffany did. She threw the left high kick straight away. So she threw a right hand. And I want to see if she's going to start throwing that left high kick more to keep Pereira's right hand at home and also to start wearing away the forearms of Pereira. Good movement by Tiffany. Left hand landed by Pereira. Girls exchange low kicks. Left hook, right hand by Pereira. They're in the clinch. Both girls exchange knees. The referee breaks them up. Right hand landed by Tiffany. Right kick by Tiffany again. Both girls being very patient. Uh, Tiffany's definitely the aggressor. She's coming forward. Two low kicks landed there by Pereira. Very, very nice little low kicks landed there. Tiffany keeps coming forward with her boxing. Pereira answers now. She's coming forward with her own boxing. Big right hand misses by Tiffany. Almost threw herself off balance. She's looking for that right hand. It's coming up in a nice show there was Tiffany in a boxing stance, keeping the left hand kind of low. That will give her a little bit more reach when she throws that jab. She's stepping in and switching her stance just as we were talking before. So she's stepping in like she's going to throw a kick, and then she steps into that space basically as a southpaw, and it allows her to cut that distance against the longer opponent. She's looking to spin was Tiffany. She's doing a great job of cutting that distance and getting inside. Now Pereira's moved her up into the corner. She's throwing her knees in the corner there. I do think not it was a step up like she can't fight her, but it is a step up for Pereira. My opinion. I'll give that first to Tiffany. Pereira is scary. Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely give the experience, and I think that that's going to play into like as they're talking about the keys to victory here. The experience of footwork and the feints and angles all go to Tiffany, and the distance control, long range attacks, and power goes to Pereira. But you need the experience to really exploit the footwork and the angles and whatnot, and that is evident in this fight. Big counter left hook landed by Pereira. Just watching in the replays there. Yeah, so it's something you do have to be careful of coming in. They both got good timing. I give that first round to Tiffany. And we're off. The second round starts. Pereira goes looking for a right head kick. Lands a counter left hook there. Lands a little check hook as Tiffany was coming in. Now Pereira's putting on a little bit more volume and a little bit more aggression coming forward. She can't let Tiffany keep coming forward because I think Tiffany will win this fight if it keeps going like that, unless Pereira catches her coming in. Left kick to the body. Now Tiffany has worked Pereira up into the corner. Pereira gets a takedown of Tiffany when Tiffany threw the knee. Against Pereira, Tiffany's doing a good job of stalking Pereira, but Pereira's always looking to counter. She's always looking to hit her with a check hook or that right hand as she's coming in. Tiffany does a great job of cutting the angles. Again, both girls in the clinch. Tiffany's looking for a way in. Pereira's looking to counter. Front kick by Tiffany. Pereira has to answer. 1-2, but there was a counter left hook landed by Tiffany and a right hand over the top, followed by a left hand to the head. A left head kick by Tiffany. It did seem to, I'm not going to say rattle, but it did seem to affect Pereira. Front kick by Pereira. Right high kick by Tiffany. Right low kick by Tiffany combination. She lands a right hand over the top on Pereira, and then she throws that left high kick. That left high kick is very, very important, I think, for her against Pereira to keep that right hand at home and to also start taking some of the power away from that right hand. It doesn't look like it hurts, but you have to keep your hand here, so you can't be throwing that right hand. And also, it's shin on ulna, and the ulna's nothing. There's nothing there. It's a very thin little bone that runs down your arm. Very easy to break that arm. And Tiffany's doing a fantastic job of throwing that left high kick at the end of the combinations to keep that right hand at home. Now she's in the southpaw stance, and she's very good. She changes her angles, she changes the stance. Not for nice right punch to the body landed by Tiffany. She throws that left high kick again. Right hand over the top by Tiffany. Both girls are kneeing in the clinch. Big combination thrown by Tiffany. It's 10 seconds to go. Spinning attack by Tiffany, again with a left high kick. She's doing a fantastic job of that left high kick. Right hand to the head. That's that round gone. Second round is done. I'm just reading the questions. Who do I think wins a fight between Charles and Dustin and Chandler versus Gaichi? They're all real difficult fights, man. They're all real difficult fights. I'm gonna have to give that one the proper answer that it needs, and I won't be able to do it in between the rounds. So I'll come back to it for sure. Man, it was. I think that it's gonna get harder and harder and harder. Oh, look at Alex, man! What a champion! He's cornering his sister, and he's got his hands wrapped while he's cornering her. So that's pretty cool. I love that. I actually love seeing that. Um, I do think that Tiffany's showing her experience more than anything in the ring, and Pereira's getting, I don't know, not overwhelmed. That's not the term. She just has spinning back kick partially landed by Tiffany. Nice. She goes looking for the liver again. Does Tiffany? Yeah, I see Tiffany winning this fight at this point. I don't necessarily, I don't know exactly, but I think Tiffany, especially in the second round, did a really good job of putting that volume and that pressure on. and I think she's found a way to cut that distance. Like she's doing the right things to get inside and cut the distance. She figured it was the first round was a little bit took her a little bit harder to figure it out, but she did. Right low kick by Pereira, but checked by Tiffany. Tiffany's doing a good job and she's landing the combinations there when she gets inside. Not flush, but doing enough of a job of landing the punches. And it's also letting Pereira know that Tiffany is getting inside her guard, getting inside that length, and she's doing it not at will, but close enough to at will. Right hand wing and a miss by Pereira. Tiffany partially checks a low kick by Pereira. Both girls swinging for the fences inside. They're clinching in the middle. There's a break. And Tiffany right back in there, controlling the center of the ring. Jab by Pereira. Tiffany, again, great job of cutting that distance and getting inside. Both girls clinch. Both girls throw knees. There's 1 minute to go. Combination to the body landed by Tiffany. Pereira is in the corner. Doesn't seem to be hurt, but she definitely felt it. And Tiffany's got Pereira up in the corner now. She's landing little shots in the dirty boxing. Pereira wing and a miss with a low kick. The strikes are starting to become a little bit more labored from Pereira. And Tiffany's starting to get in a little bit easier. I don't know if the body shots have taken their toll because Tiffany has worked the body a little bit in this fight. Left high kick again, taken on the arms of Pereira. Tiffany's definitely the aggressor, definitely the one coming forward, in my opinion. Again, I'm not judging the fight. I'm just watching the fight. Pereira's looking for the counter, but Tiffany's doing enough and showing her different things. Like she threw a little crescent kick there, and it's enough to just throw off that balance and throw off that timing so that she's not just walking into Pereira's counters. That's around there, people. I do believe that Tiffany is winning this fight. Pereira's doing a good job, but she's not catching her on the counter. And the little things, if you watch Tiffany, the little things that she does, in my opinion, this is just my simple opinion. She's throwing stuff. This is actually high level stuff. It's stuff we talk about always with people. When you try and cut that distance on a longer opponent, or you want to get in for a takedown in MMA or whatever, you have to throw things in the mid range. You can't just run in and grab someone, because if you run in and grab someone, they're gonna be able to counter you. You can't just run in and hit someone because they're gonna counter you. So it's the little things that she does, like she'll throw a jab to create a distance, to create a false distance, to create something to put in the middle for her to be able to cut that distance and to throw off that timing. So she's doing little things like throwing the crescent kicks. We're off fourth round. She's throwing crescent kicks. She's throwing different things and then stepping into that, switching her stance and stepping in and allowing her to cut that distance. Girls exchange low kicks. Ooh, right hand by Pereira. Right kick to the body by Tiffany. Low kick landed by Tiffany. And the other thing is, when you watch these guys, like the girls as well, the way that the leg kicks don't necessarily affect them as much. They know how to roll with the leg kick just at the right time, if they haven't been able to check it. So they take it on the hamstring as opposed to on the vastus lateralis. It still hurts, but if you take it on the iliotibial band on the vastus lateralis, man, you can't take too many. You can take more on the hamstring, kind of like it doesn't hurt as much. And they kind of roll with that right at the end. She's able to close that distance, is Tiffany, and land those knees and land those shots. And she's keeping the work rate up. And I think that's what's going to be the difference in this fight. Land a nice jab to Tiffany. There she goes with that left high kick. Doing that left high kick, I think, to me, is a really, really, she threw it again, is a really, really, really great weapon that she's been using. It keeps that right hand at home and it starts to wear away that right hand that Pereira just threw beautifully down the middle then. Left kick again. Ooh, nice liver shot landed by Tiffany. Easier for her to land those shots to the body as well, being the shorter fighter. She landed a nice, and then she goes looking for the liver shot again, and she throws that left high kick up that Pereira only partially blocked that left high kick then. Pereira goes looking for a jab of her own. Tiffany does a great job. She's just staying in her face. She's landing those. She landed two left hands there in a row and then landed another left knee to the body. Pereira's tough as nails, I tell you now, because she has taken some body shots in this fight. Spinning attack by Tiffany. Pereira goes looking for a left hook over the top. Tiffany goes looking for a spinning back kick but misses. She goes looking for a spinning back fist but misses again. Left hook over the top by Pereira. Check the kick did Tiffany of Pereira's. Now both girls are clinching in the middle. The referee breaks them. Jab to the body by Pereira. Jab to the body by Tiffany. And that's a round. I'll give that round to Tiffany as well. What a round. What a round. We're about to see a fifth round. I don't see a knockout. I don't see anyone stopping anyone. I see more of the same, to be honest with you. And I do believe, my opinion, that Pereira to get a win has to stop her. That's my opinion. Because I think that maybe the first round could have gone to Pereira. Maybe, if you're being very generous. But the other three went to Tiffany, in my opinion. Really impressed, but I'm really impressed with both these girls. The level's high, that I love watching the high level fights, and I love these girls can fight. They can really fight. And Tiffany's being very, very smart. It's not that Pereira's not. It's just that Tiffany's doing just a better job of executing her plan. Now Tiffany missed there, and Pereira came on strong with a nice combination of her own. Didn't land them flush, but just a nice head movement by, man, Tiffany does such a good job. So she came in, she dipped, she feinted, she slid out just a little bit to the outside of the punch, and that's just enough to throw the timing off. And then she threw a little combination. Pereira is now, she's coming on strong. Is Pereira now in the fifth round? Tiffany with a great combination. 1, 2, 3, 2 to the body and 1 to the head. Partially blocked by Pereira, but still another knee to the body by Tiffany. She steps in with a big knee. Left hand landed to the head by Tiffany. Tiffany's just keeping that pressure going. She's in the southpaw stance now. Lands a right kick to the leg of Pereira. Exchanging knees in the clinch, other girls. Right hand by Tiffany. Doing a fantastic job of switching her stances and hitting, like switch hitting from different angles. It is flustering Pereira a fair bit. Body lock landed here by Tiffany. There's 1 minute 34 seconds to go. Pereira came in with a big right hand, and Tiffany stepped down and hit her with a left hook, like a counter check hook kind of thing. Nice right hand by Pereira. Pereira's looking for that 1-2, but Tiffany's very smart now. The punches are a little labored by Pereira, and Tiffany's she's able to land her own shots now. The sting isn't there from Pereira's 1-2, which she throws beautifully, by the way. More body shots landing now by Tiffany. There's 1 minute to go. Pereira's definitely been feeling those body shots. Another jab to the body, jab to the head, right hand by Tiffany. In the clinch, Tiffany's absolutely leading this dance. Actually, the closest this fight's looking to be finished is right now. But a 1-2 landed by Pereira. She's got such a big heart, man. Another body shot. The girls exchange body shots. They're in the clinch now. Ref breaks them. Tiffany comes on more. She's 30 seconds to go. Big right hand thrown by Tiffany. A left high kick by Tiffany. And again, she does a great job. Then a little combination here in the clinch. 22 seconds to go. I do not see Pereira finishing this fight, and I can only see the winner being Tiffany. 12 seconds to go. Tiffany with another spinning attack to the body. It's definitely, the body shots have definitely hurt Pereira. And that's a bell, guys. That's a fight. I think Tiffany's winning. I'll be back immediately. And Tiffany got the win, people. Well deserved, unanimous decision. And yeah, I definitely think that that was the case. So you got the questions: Charles versus Dustin and Chandler versus Gaichi. I see, man, all those fights, in my opinion, are pretty much 50-50. But gun to my head, like what I'd say is, I think if Charles can't get Dustin to the ground, I think Dustin will prove to be a little bit too much, like bit too big, bit too strong, very durable, and he'll fight you down that stretch. I don't think that Charles has proven that ability yet, but on the ground, Charles is too good. I think for just about anyone. Um, the problem is in a 5-round fight, if he can't finish Dustin on the ground, and I think Dustin's like different level as far as foot on the gas, making it ugly, getting in there and fighting. Like you're not taking Dustin out unless you take him out. Chandler versus Gaichi. After seeing Chandler versus Hooker and showing that kind of vocabulary of different strikes and different ability to deal with distance and patience and adaptability in the fight, I would favor Gaichi. I would favor, sorry, Chandler, because I think that Chandler has a lot of different things he can do there. You know what I mean? I think Chandler can strike, he can go for takedowns, he can He's got power himself. So I'd probably go with Chandler if I had to, but I'd see him as close. Um, if I was a matchmaker for the lightweight division, Dustin versus Charles or Justin versus Michael Connor versus. Yeah, I mean, you put up a lot of different uh people that could be fighting. Yeah, Tiffany definitely put it on in that fight, man. I was really, really impressed by that fight. I'm really impressed. Like her ability to cover distance, her ability to change angles, wear the body out, throw that left high kick, man. That left high kick. Anytime you fight someone that's got a big right hand, you need to throw that left high kick, and that left high kick keeps that right hand at home, and it starts also to wear that right hand out because you can't take it on the face. So like I'm telling you, man, like the the bones of the forearm are very thin in comparison to the tibia, which is what you're hitting them with. And then also, if you get hit even slightly on the ulnar, which is this bone here, the one that's on the pinky side, you only have to get hit a little bit. You'll feel that, like you'll feel like I can't take too many more. Your arm's gonna get broken. Um, yeah, look, I think that the Pereira struggled with those angles. She struggled. It's not that she was just waiting. It's that she's struggling to that timing and that precision, that distance, that the way that Tiffany played with the distance, the way that she played with the timing, the way that she changed the angles. That was a little bit too much, a little bit hard for Pereira to deal with. Rico Verhoeven, the main event won't be up for a while. Why does a striking look so basic in MMA compared to boxing and kickboxing? Well, there's a lot of other things that can happen in MMA. So the focus is not on MMA. It's like wrestling. When you look at Olympic freestyle wrestling, then you look at a wrestling in MMA, it looks completely different. Like it looks the level's much lower, you know. When you compare guys that do jujitsu in jujitsu tournaments and then you compare it in MMA, the level's much lower. But you can punch someone in the face. You can't do that in jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So it's you're looking at specialists here, and it does make a massive difference. It's a big difference. You see people that are good strikers in MMA might not be that good here. Will definitely not be as good here, against the top guys. Um, what looks cooler, glory belt or the UFC belt? I I don't know. I think the glory belt looks pretty cool too. It's a huge production. Like it's actually a very very big production. I let's see who's up next. Now we got Rico Verhoeven versus Hesdy Gerges. This is going to be fireworks. This is going to be fireworks, and it's funny because they don't like each other. Verhoeven's just a monster of a guy, but these guys like, and that Hesdy Gerges, he's like 2 meters tall as well. Like these guys are really really big guys. So everything there's a title defense, they put a ruby. Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think every time there's a title defense, yes, 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 yes. Now I'm just watching the argument now. During a press conference, Rico Verhoeven had a press conference, and Hesdy was saying a whole bunch of stuff, and they're going backwards and forwards. Hesdy is a very colorful character outside of the octagon as well. I think why isn't Rico's belt on the line? Because I think it's a tournament. It's a heavyweight tournament. My understanding of it. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. The finals, which will be tonight, is the winner semi-final A versus the winner of semi-final B. That's my understanding. Where is live? We are live, people. We are live. Delgado says, "Ooh, what if once they fill it up with rubies, they should make it a ruby belt? That would look so cool, but would be so hard to accomplish. It would absolutely be almost impossible to accomplish." I have Rico winning this one, though. I do have Rico winning this fight quite comfortably. Hesdy's good, but he's not. He's lost twice, I believe, to Rico already. I'm drinking my tea and waking up, people. What an interesting fight. Like I love this, man. I'm really glad that I got up to do this the glory card because I never really I never really catch him live because of just the time difference. Like right now is it's 7:30 now, so I had to get up at 5:30 to 5:30 to watch it. So I never really catch him live, and so I'm really glad that I got up and I'm doing this live. So the only time the belt for the weight division is on the line is outside of a tournament. No. The thing is that because there's the tournament on now, that's going to be for the belt, I believe. So I don't if they'd have fought without there being a tournament, then the belt would have been on the line. UEM, yeah, you the man. Appreciate your breakdowns and insights, man. I really appreciate you guys watching. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I'm enjoying it very much. I love these conversations that we have. I actually honestly really look forward to the fights when I'm going to do the commentary, like the night before and everything. I really look forward to it. I'm really pumped to do the fights and everything. How badly does this guy look like Lionel Messi? The guy that's commentating here as well. I'm like, is that Messi? Is Zembedes the welterweight kickboxing goat? I don't know if he's the goat, but man, he's definitely up there, eh? I don't know. He's a nasty little man, isn't he? The card is super stacked, and that's another reason it got me up as well. Sometimes the cards aren't as stacked. I probably wouldn't. I'm not going to lie. I probably wouldn't get up 5:30 in the morning for a not stacked glory card. This one's stacked. This guy that's talking now, Boyansky, I loved watching him fight back in the day as well. He was an unbelievable fighter. Um, who do I have between Cedric and Murthel? Cedric. Cedric. I think that the first fight, Cedric won it. The second fight, like Murthel won it because he won it, right? But it was close. It was you could have given that to Cedric too, is what I'm saying. And I don't like saying, "Oh, you should have won it." Like you didn't win it, you didn't win it. But I, yeah, I'd like to see. Um, yeah, I'd like to see Cedric win. Plus, he was on the podcast, so I'm biased. I feel that I have to wake up at 6 for 1 on Fridays. Laugh out loud, UEM. What? Where do you live, UE? And which fights do you have to get up at 6 for? It's early, man, to get up for fights. I'm telling you now, it's early. No, I think that the little thing that's happening in the UFC lightweight division is interesting because I don't know. I'm not interested in seeing Connor and Dustin 3 right now. You know what I mean? I don't. I think there's a lot of other guys. I want to see Charles Oliveira get a shot. That's my biggest thing there. Michael Chavello called him an Oompa Loompa. Who did he call an Oompa Loompa? Delgado, who do you have once? Who do you have if Errol Spence Jr. and Crawford fight? I'm going with Errol since level of competition, but you never know. I don't know. They're both super good. I don't know. I think I can't see Crawford losing right now. You know what I mean? I just can't see it. Not maybe in a year or two, as he starts to get older and older, but right now, I don't really see him losing. But Errol Spencer's so good, so I don't know. I can't call that one. UEM, Texas, my man, and I just love the extra looks, different styles from different regions and promotions. Yeah, me too, man. I love watching it as well. I'm a fight fan, first and foremost. Um, I just saw that knockout here on the screen of Adekbui by Rico Verhoeven. We had Adekbui on the podcast as well. Absolute gentleman, big strong guy. Beat Badahari. That you can't. That's big, So interesting. I got Rico in this fight though. Um, is Rico the only guy who could stand in front of Ngannou and strike with him? I don't think anyone can stand in front of Ngannou and strike with him, and I don't think Rico would. You know, he'd move, he'd get out of the way of the power shots. The problem is with someone like Rico. I think his stand up's way better, but you got to be careful with that power. I think he's seen the power before. Um, in a UFC fight, I think Francis has had too much experience. He's also been training grappling. He's also been training the other elements, so he can go for his big shots and try and put Rico up against the cage, look for a takedown himself, step out, throw the big power shots. In that case, if you put him in kickboxing, Francis's stand up, I don't think will be even close to Rico's. So that there's a big difference in that. Like just the fact that Francis can throw combinations and just barrel him into the cage and just grapple with him, hold him there. Rico hasn't nowhere near the experience that Francis has for MMA. But in kickboxing in the ring with the bigger gloves that Rico knows how to use and he knows how to block with those things, it's different. And there's nothing else that can happen and he can chop away at Francis's legs, and Francis can't set himself in the same way to generate the same amount of power. It's different. It's very, very, very different. Um, but yeah, Rico wouldn't be fun to fight and stand up either. Um, I don't know what Golden Boy is doing scheduling Garcia versus Pacquiao. Garcia is going to get smashed. I don't know. We've got to see that fight. I think Benavidez or Billy Joe has the best chance to win against Canelo. I don't think Billy Joe will beat Canelo. I don't. I just don't think so. Do you think Prime Beta could stand with Francis? Yeah, I think any of those. Like, I think the difference in the stand up would be very high, but it just depends where you're talking about fighting with him. Like, if you're talking about them fighting Francis in MMA, that's what I mean. I think like Francis is kind of like Rob in that their stand up was really refined for MMA. You know what I mean? And so the difference between Francis coming to K1 is different. K1 or Glory or whatnot. He would have to change a lot of things, and Beta and that are very, very comfortable in the ring. It's different. The ring has corners. It has like proper corners that you can use to put people up against that they're not going to be able to generate the same amount of power, and you can leg kick them from that position. The octagon doesn't have that. It's a different ring generalmanship that you have versus versus the octagon. The octagon is a different control, different way to cut the octagon off. The ring's different again. So if you put Francis in against Beta or Adekbui or Verhoeven, I don't think Francis beats him in the ring. He'd still be super dangerous because he carries so much power. But the gloves are different, the stance is different, the ring is different. You put them in MMA, it becomes different again because Francis can generate a lot of power from a different kind of stance and he can do different things. The threats are different. These guys can't just set their feet and throw the punches and kicks the way they'd like to. So it's different. Who would hit the hardest? Probably Ngannou, I'd say. He'd probably punch the hardest. But that doesn't mean that he's going to just land that punch, you know what I mean? Like that against these guys who know that punch is coming. It's a little bit different. not in MMA gloves, but in kickboxing maybe. I don't like. Having said all of that, then you think like he fought like Stipe, for instance. He hasn't knocked every single person out that he fought either. He's come close, but um, yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion. It's different, man. Like stand up just in the ring is different because it all comes into play. It's such a specialist sport. Your gloves come into play, the ring comes into play, the angles come into play, the corners come into play. It's a big thing. It's a big difference. And I don't think Francis beats these guys in these guys are huge. Rico Verhoeven is 196 centimeters tall, 120 kilos. You know, these are guys are huge. Like huge, huge men as well. Hello from Montreal, Canada. Funk Zulu. Right back at you, Funk Zulu. How are you, my friend? Hate to be that guy, but who you got? Askren versus Jake Paul in boxing. I think Jake Paul might do it. To be honest with you, I think he might do it. Askren hasn't got the best boxing, and again, like I said, like there's a lot that goes into that. Like there's a lot that goes into it. So now I'm watching what it says. What are the keys to victory? Hesdy Gerges has nothing to lose. He's got inside pressure and power. Um, Verhoeven, ring experience, ring control, and low kicks. And I think like Bazooka Joe's saying that, but I mean, he can only write three things. But when you talk about ring experience, when you talk about someone that has the power that Rico has, but it also has the experience, that's greater than the sum of all of its parts. That ring experience is going to be the difference between angles. Is going to be the difference between you being able to feint and set up kicks, and then set up your hands. It's a big, big difference. Um, Gerges is 110 kilos, so there's like a 10 kilo weight advantage to Verhoeven. But you got to understand with Verhoeven, he's like he knows how to use that extra power, that extra like everything, you know. Um, he just looks chiseled in stone, man. He's a different animal. Yeah, so the I'm not comparing Jake Paul to these guys, but yeah, like you got a different it's a different thing, you know, and I think he trains a lot specifically in boxing. You got to give him that, you know, and I don't think Askren trained has trained that much boxing like that specifically. Got in, put the shoes on, put the big gloves on, did the rounds, understands the corner working the same way. Nah, but you put Askren in an octagon, and I think even if they were to box with MMA gloves, I give that advantage to Askren if they were to box MMA gloves in an octagon, and Askren's allowed to clinch. Askren easy, but boxing, man, it's completely different. We're off. We're off, people. Verhoeven takes the center of the ring, and he's stalking Hesdy right from the start. Inside low kick by Hesdy. Gerges and another kick. Verhoeven take a kick to the right hand of Gerges. Verhoeven just walking him down, stalking him down. Looking for a big shot is Verhoeven. Verhoeven's got Hesdy now in the corner. The boys are clinching. They get out. Hesty's now in the middle of the ring. But again, Verhoeven stalking him. Verhoeven looks so much bigger too, man. Hesty's very long though, very very long. But the pressure that's coming here is all coming from Verhoeven. There's no like Hesty's definitely reactive in this fight. Again, 1-2 by Verhoeven, big shots landing. He's corralling Hesdy into the corners of the ring, which is one of the big things that you don't have that in the octagon. There is no sharp like corners like that. No 90-degree corners like you have in a ring. And now he's got him in the corner again, does Verhoeven. There's 1 minute 30 seconds to go in the first round. Verhoeven throws a jab, checks Hesdy's low kick. Jab landed by Hesdy. Well, good job, Gerges. They exchange kicks. Verhoeven doing a fantastic job of corralling Hesdy into the corners. But Hesdy's not letting himself just get hit either. He's very, very rugged veteran. 1 minute to go. He's very reactive though, even to there's little things that are happening here that people don't understand, little feints that are happening. And they're little, right hand landed by Rico and another right hand over the top. Flurry of punches landed by Rico, and now both boys clinch. Definitely a couple of those got through. The feints, there's little feints that are occurring. And when you feint and the person bites on your feint, they're now reactive to you. And if they continue to bite on your feints, they're completely reactive to you and they start to shut down. And that's what's happening with Hesdy here against Verhoeven. Verhoeven throws a nice left high kick, taking on the arms of Hesdy. But like I said before, it starts to wear you down. Right hand landed by Verhoeven. Verhoeven's looking for head control when they clinch. Checked. So inside kick landed by, not landed, Hesdy threw it, but it was checked by Verhoeven. Verhoeven throws a jab down the middle. Verhoeven looking for that right hand. Nice leg kick landed by Hesdy. Both boys shake hands at the end of the first round. Some interesting questions here. I think Rico won that fight, but not there wasn't a lot of damage taken by either fighter. And he hasn't been able to. It says here that signature strike is the low kick, but he hasn't really been able to get that going against Verhoeven. Another thing, when you have a kicker, if you can get them moving backwards, it's very hard for them to plant their feet and kick. Khbabez in MMA does it spectacularly well, but Verhoeven's doing a great job of taking up Hesdy's space so that Hesdy can't really get that kick going, the low kick. We're off again, guys. Inside low kick checked by Rico. Rico again taking up that space of Hesdy, so Hesdy can't get that low kick game happening. But Hesdy's now opening up more with his kicks in the second round. Rico's feinting, making Hesdy bite, but Hesty's now throwing those kicks. Oh, big low kick landed by Rico, dropped Hesdy. Punches landing here. Rico goes to southpaw. And he's did a good job of closing the distance. The left rip to the body landed by Rico. Another low kick landed by Rico. Hesty's a little bit off balance now, looks a little bit flustered. Rico's doing a good job of controlling the center. That ability to switch, doubled up on the jab, right hand. One, 2 by Rico. Nice. The combinations, big shots. Rico's such a powerful guy. Hesty's doing a great job here of just, but he's surviving, in my opinion. He's surviving. He's not left high kick partially landed by Rico. Hesdy answers with one of his own, but doesn't have the same level of success. Another low kick landed by Hesdy. Rico's landing some of his own though. Rico's done a great job of putting Hesdy in the corner and keeping Hesty's back to the ropes. 1-2 landed by Rico. Front kick down the middle by Rico. Nice combination there by Rico with a little left hook on the exit, landing on Hesdy. Rico's now gone to southpaw stance. Hesdy lands a lead low kick. Luke goes looking for a right high kick. Both boys exchange combinations. Hesdy goes looking for a right hand. Left rip to the body, swinging a miss by Rico. Both guys exchanging punches in the clinch. Hesdy's now in the middle of the ring and looking very comfortable doing so. Lands a nice low kick on Rico, but Rico's now coming forward. Big right hand by Rico and an inside leg kick by Rico. Nice. Goes up high, but nice. That low kick landed well. Another low kick landed well by Hesdy. But Rico's now inside boxing territory, landing combinations. Both boys break. Hesdy's looking for that low kick to land again. Inside low kick, but Rico checks them both. Great job of checking those kicks, does Rico. That round, I think Rico as well, but it was, man, Hesdy's done a good job of landing those kicks. Wow. And then he got the next semi-final coming up now. So the winner will fight at the end. That's very interesting. I think Rico's winning, but he's not having it all his way. And what's interesting is he's fighting a guy that's got good leg kicks, and those leg kicks will take a toll going into into the final, because he has taken some leg kicks here by Hesdy. There was a couple that really sunk in there. Rico's wary of him. Ooh, they exchange kicks. Both guys partially checked the kicks that are coming through. 2 minutes 42 seconds to go. Another low kick landed by Gerges. Verhoeven's definitely getting away with him with the fight, but Gerges is surviving and landing some damage of his own. They exchange punches in a flurry there. Verhoeven goes looking for a big uppercut to a wing and a miss. Verhoeven's doing a great job of cutting that distance so that Gerges can't get his low kicks off. Left hand landed by Verhoeven. Good combinations. Both guys in the pocket exchanging punches. Left jab landed by Verhoeven. Jab to the body by Hesdy. Another jab landed by Verhoeven. Front kick to the body by Verhoeven. It seemed to be a little low. Both boys touch gloves and they're off again. 1 minute 37 seconds to go. I see it all being Verhoeven at the moment. I see him winning the. Ooh, 1-2. Landed with a low kick after that. Another 1-2. And another low kick. Man, that kick to the inside of your leg hurts a lot because it hits the vastus medialis muscle, and the vastus medialis muscle is like that teardrop muscle that you have next to your knee, and there's nothing there. It's very, very small muscle, and it like you get that deadens straight away. Then you can't straighten your leg properly. You can't bend your leg properly. Your leg kind of locks out, doesn't bend. These guys are so tough. Their ability to take that damage. 41 seconds to go. Another front kick by Rico. Checked the kick of Hesdy, and Rico's in there. They exchange punches. The ref had called a break, I believe, and Hesdy landed a punch at that moment as well. But he was a good sportsman about it. Didn't mean it. They shook hands and they're off again. Jab, right kick landed by Hesdy. Rico looking to try and get in, switches his stance and comes inside, breaks the distance. They shake hands, big hugs, good sportsmanship. I love it. I really, really like it. But it was all Rico, in my opinion. Pranav says glory heavyweights all seem enormous. Yeah, that it's freaky how big they are. They're super big. Yeah, I'm rooting for Ben too, but I think he beats him. Um, man, like again, like when you say that, like the Rob versus Israel fight, like these guys are two big guys. The fight got finished pretty quick. I can't really talk about it too much, but what changes do you think he has to make? That why do you think he fought bad because he lost? You know what I mean? Um, it was always going to happen like that. Like one of them was going to catch the other one. Either Rob was going to catch Israel coming in, or Israel was going to counter it. The fight didn't develop further than that for you or anyone else to say, no, the game plan was good or the game plan was bad or whatever. The same way with Dan Hooker and Chandler, like it's not easy in there. You know what I mean? And you go in there, you implement your game plan, he implements his. Maybe you do something completely different and you would have lost anyways. Who knows? Um, do kickboxers typically not spar as hard as MMA guys? So many kickboxers have at least twice as many fights as a typical MMA fighter at their age. I do think that in Muay Thai, especially, they don't spar, if ever. Like they spar very light and they fight all the time, which makes more sense to me. Like rather than you, because some of the gym wars that people have are just fucking ridiculous. Like they're just stupid. There are a lot of gym wars that you have that you may as well just have gotten paid for them. So yeah, so a lot of the sparring that happens, I think, is stupid, and I'd rather just see the actual fight. Because sparring is close to a fight, but it's also the furthest you can be from a fight. Because some guys look really good in sparring, and they never come to the fight. So it's big different. Um, Zeke says Rob's chin has gotten worse. He's been dropped in his last four fights. Um, and says Jared hurts him in the third round. If Costa lands, it's over. Well, if anyone lands, it's over, man. If anyone lands on anyone flush, it's over. That's the thing people don't understand. I can't really talk about that. The thing you said. When I say I can't talk about it, it's not because it's a bad question or it's a bad thing. Like I worked with Rob for a long time, so it's kind of like a what do you call it? Not a conflict of interest. So Verhoeven won by unanimous decision. It's a breach of confidentiality. That's what it is for me to talk about it too much. Um, so I can't really say anything. Um, but I will tell you this: anyone lands flush, any of those big guys at 185 and above, they land flush. It's over. That's what people don't get, man. They think it's a movie. Um, it's not. It's not a video game. It's not a movie. So yeah, it's 3 rounds, Cameron, because then they're going to fight the winner of the two semifinals fight in the final. Yeah, I agree with you, Delgado. There's other things there. I don't think that Rob's chin is bad at all. You can have a great chin, but if you get hit flush, you're going to sleep. And he took some big shots of some big strikers, and he didn't get knocked out. As a matter of fact, he never went to sleep against anyone. But having said that, you can't take shots like that on the chin. So you know, they do spar hard, the Dutch, but I don't know how often and how much they spar. It's a big difference. Like in a lot of the MMA guys spar way too much. For when you look at how many fights the kickboxers have, right, versus how much sparring they do, it's not much. It's not much in that comparison, if you know what I mean. They have this many fights, they do this much sparring, whereas the the fighters, the MMA fighters, they probably spar a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them spar probably 4 or 5 times as much as the fights that they've had, which is insane when you only get paid for fighting. What do I think of Alex Pereira? Alex Pereira, I think he's a fucking weapon, man. A fucking weapon. How do I feel about these mini tournaments? I really like the mini tournaments, to be honest with you. I really like it. I Even if the tournaments aren't held on the same day, I like the tournament format. I have to go refill my water. I'll be back. Yeah, I'm a fan of the tournament format. I prefer watching even if it's not on the same day. Like I said, I like to see the the best guys fight for the belt. I prefer that. Then like that even not being on the same day, I prefer it because at least people haven't been injured. But at least you get to see people fight the best guys. They are super skilled, man. They're giants and they're super skilled. Okay. Rico could do some damage in MMA. Yeah, I don't really get the nothing mate thing. That was a bit much. That's why I'm hoping if I'm Dutch, I'm a fan of Rico. I live 10 minutes from his home. Man, I'm interested to see. I'd love to see Rico Verhoeven in MMA. That'd be so cool. He's way better than Alistair over him as far as a kickboxer. Yeah, but it's different in MMA. Yeah, I agree with it. Gerges is putting up a good account for himself. No, he definitely did. He definitely did give a good account of himself. I thought Rico would be a bit too much. Um, where are they showing the fight? Not asking for a link. Curious since I didn't see it on Fight Pass. I don't know. My wife bought it, so I don't know. I'll find out for you. Um, yeah, fight. I think that's where we got it from as well. Jose Gutierrez. Fight TV is one and on their website. Um, I love all sports. For example, wrestling is not realistic. Okay. No, like man, like it's those conversations are like having a conversation about basketball and baseball. Which one you can like, whichever one you want. Um, you know what I've seen today? Like usually, I don't know. This is one I will say. Usually we have pretty cool people on here. Seems to be like we've starting to have a couple of retards on here today. So it's just interesting. Um, usually we don't have it. Usually most people are all right on the things. They're just it's yeah, it was just an interesting thing. Usually I don't know if it's glory itself, if this is a reflection of the people that are following because of that, or I don't know, bad parenting. Who knows? Rico has a single MMA. The other thing is the say for example for someone like Rico, for him to go over to MMA, I don't even know that it's at this stage of his career it's even worth it. You know what I mean? Like, does what for? Man, these K1 guys are fucking huge. They're just so tall, long, and powerful guys. But I think Rico wins this one, the whole thing as well. Tarik Khbabez versus Levi Rigters. I I don't know. I don't know. I can't call it. Don't know enough about the kickboxing world, but yeah, looking forward to it. Fab, do I believe that world leaders should have a depth knowledge of MMA, not for protection, but as an alternate to a debate? Not really. Doesn't that's not going to do us any good to have the better fighter have um the right of way, so to speak. But you know what? I do think that it's a character building process that helps everyone to have knowledge of MMA. So, short answer would be yes. What's scary is Ubrin came into K1 as an MMA fighter and won the K1 Grand Prix. He's a monster. I do believe that Uberim won that, but he was Man, he was very big for that. Um, Fab, the boxing stream with Mark Hunt was something else. The people in there were nuts. Yeah, that was funny, man. That was crazy. Coach, that means the channel is growing. Hashtag silver lining. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things. It is one of those things, Joseph. Um, was just about to say people are so nice in this chat, and for some reason there are a few donuts here today. Yeah, usually we have it. Usually we have. You know what it is as well. I think people, one is the anonymity, and two, people want to always say something with such passion, and just man, you don't need to. We don't. You don't need to. You just be nice, man. Just be nice. These guys are about to kick it off now. Um, do I think Gallon beats Lucas Brown? Oh, that fight's interesting, eh? I don't know how active Lucas Brown is right now. I don't think Gallon beats a prime Lucas Brown. No, I don't think so. In boxing like that, no. But I don't know how active Lucas is right now. Are you a fan of Doumbe? Yeah, I am. I like Cedric Doumbe. I had him on the podcast, So and he was like a nice guy, good guy. Watch the interview, So I I liked it, you know. Um, Tarik Khbabez versus Levi Rigters. The thing that gets me with a guy is like this Khbabez dude has had 53 fights. 53 fights. Like the MMA guys do not have that. Very rare. Range control. But I will say this. You get guys in MMA and they might have only had 12, 15 fights, but they've had 500 wrestling matches, 600 wrestling matches, 1,000 jiu-jitsu competitions. Like, they've already done an apprenticeship as well. You think France is going to be the spot where the next couple of UFC champs are coming from, just like New Zealand and Australia are right now? French fighters, Cyril Gane, Francis Ngannou, maybe Doumbe. France has always had good combat sports. They've always had good, very, very decent combat sports. So yeah, we're going to see a French champion at some point for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Levi's such a long, rangy dude, man. 12 and 0, 6 KOs. Tarik has had 53 fights and a whole bunch of wins. A lot of wins. See, this guy's 6'6", 110 kilos, man. That's a big human being. That's like a big basketball player, like basketball players are 6'6" and they're not that heavy unless you're like big power forward or something. So this is like these guys are huge, That's how tall that Levi is. It's 2 meters tall, 110 kilos. Like if you saw him in real life, he'd be like one of the biggest humans you've seen. I've seen a few of them. Like Overeem's huge, Beta's huge, like just giant men. And we're off, people. We're about to start. We're off. We're off. They touch gloves. They're in the middle. Levi looks like kind of like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did in Game of Death too. Look, goes looking for a front kick. Tarik goes looking for a overhand right. Oh, big flying knee landed by Levi. Right. What's Tarik's chin made out of? He copped that flush. Now Tarik's throwing bombs, trying to end it. Levi is looking for another flying knee. Oh my God. Levi even kind of gave him a look. Then, man, he hit him flush with that knee. Those big knees of Levi's. Khbabez is throwing. He's throwing leg kicks. It's kind of Tarik's in there getting a bit wild. And that jumping knee landed. He's going looking for a jumping switch knee, like scissor knee. Man, he threw that and landed. That would have killed a mere mortal. That would have killed someone. What a shot. And Tarik's still coming forward now. Levi goes left, right. Now Levi's up in the corner. Tarik lands a low kick. It's kind of messy, this fight. I think someone might get finished here. Right hand over the top by Tarik. Then lands a low kick. Levi's kind of weathered the storm from Khbabez. Throws a left high kick. Khbabez looking for the combination to the body and low kick. He's got to work the body as Levi's so much taller. Inside low kick by Levi. I like how Tarik throws those combinations from the body to the legs with it. He's got good dexterity in his hips to throw with the power that he does into the legs from up close because he throws those combinations to the body and then he throws a low kick. Levi's doing a good job of keeping him off. Man, that I want to see the replay of that knee to the head. I don't know, maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked. Left high kick. Ooh, big exchange of punches there by both guys. Front kick to the body landed flush by Levi. The teep kick. Then a low kick landed by Levi. And Tarik comes forward. There's 24 seconds to go in the first round. This has been an action-packed first round. Jumping high kick by Levi. Right overhand right seems to land by Tarik on the back of Levi's head kind of thing. They both exchange punches. There's 8 seconds to go. Levi's up against the ropes. Khbabez steps out. Not much time. He's looking for that overhand right, and that's the bell. Yeah, it's big height advantage, A huge height advantage that he has. Yeah. Poor Stipe has to meet with the wrath of Francis. Well, Stipe already has met with the wrath of Francis before. Although this fight's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. Man, like I said, French combat sports have always been good. Always, always, always been good. Very, very solid, So yeah, there's a very good chance. They have good wrestling over there too. The French have very decent wrestling. It's much better than Australia's level of wrestling. And Australia way better than New Zealand's level of wrestling. And between Australia and New Zealand have had 3 UFC champions. So they'll have good guys come out of there very, very, very soon. Because it's only just been legalized properly over there. Spinning back fist attack by Levi. Again, Khbabez with a big overhand right attempt. He goes looking to close the distance. The problem is I don't see either one of these. Ooh, flying knees. Right hand landed by Khbabez. But it didn't land flush. I don't see either one of these guys beating Rico, though. Khbabez lands some combinations in close. Rickers keeps looking for that jumping flying knee, like scissor knee that he does. Nice low kick landed by Khbabez. And he just keeps coming forward, does Khbabez, landing body punches after body punch after body punch. But he's starting to breathe heavy, is Khbabez. You would have to think, though, if he wins his second round, he's probably going to win 2 out of 3 rounds. Unless Levi can stop him. Levi's looking to stand back and look for a front kick to the face, but didn't have any success with it. I don't especially see either one of these guys beating Rico just on the fact of how this fight's playing out. The Rico fight, he expended way less energy. These guys are fighting hell for leather, super hard, and they have to. You have to fight your first fight. You can't really conserve strength or energy or anything. You have to think about your first fight. Ooh, nice attempt at the right high kick does Levi. Ooh, big uppercut landed by Khbabez. Levi looks to be a little hurt. He may have recovered by now, but ooh. Khbabez throws nice combinations to the body, and then he goes with the right low kick. Nice combinations. A lot of heat behind the punches. Oh, jumping kick by Levi. Axe kick by Levi. Okay, Khbabez comes in again, hits him with another right hand. 31 seconds to go. Levi goes looking for a liver shot. Khbabez looked to take his head off with the right hand. Front teep, 2 teeps in a row landed by Levi. Right hand landed by Khbabez. Ooh, nice uppercut landed by Levi. Big combination thrown. That's the round. I give it to Khbabez. Do I think Garni beats Rosenstruck? Garni's movement is next level. Yeah, probably. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Garni probably is going to get that win. But Rosenstruck, man, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on his stand up. He's got very good stand up, and he knows how to use it. So yeah, always had an idea if there was an MMA fighter that was a chiropractor, it would be scary. Well, he's not a MMA fighter, but oh my god, I had a mental blank. The jiu-jitsu guy. Oh my god, how did I forget his name? He's got a PhD. He's a PhD physiotherapist. Man, I don't even know how I forgot his name. I'm drawing mental blank. It's way too early, and I know the guy. I can't forgot his name. um, so we're almost off for the third round. Lachlan Giles. Lachlan Giles has a PhD in physiotherapy. There you go, and he's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. So that gives you an idea of the kind of stuff you were talking about. He knows his anatomy. I'll give you that. The damage he can cause. So we're off in this third round. 2 minutes 38 seconds to go. Levi's struggling to keep Khbabez off him, but man, the damage that these guys are taking because Khbabez is having to close this distance, come in very strong, and he's taking shots to the body and the arms, and he's really fatiguing himself to win this fight, and he has to. He has to. But I think Rico is going to be the fresher of the two and has going to have a massive size advantage as well. Khbabez throws these nice combinations, though. I really like it. He swings in the pocket. A very dangerous guy. If I won the lotto, I'd have him follow me around. That'd be my. Ooh, spinning back fist landed by Levi and then a little left hook. And then landed some shots here in the clinch. Goes for a switch kick, jumping switch kick, throws it with a little bit of success. Now I think Khbabez is starting to tire out. Left kick to the arms and body by Levi. Nice kicks. Throws another combination to the body, did Khbabez, and finishes off with his patented leg kick there. I love that combination that he throws. These guys are fighting so hard. They got such big hearts, man. Fighting so hard. Nice front kick, push kick landed by Levi, and then he throws a big right hand over the top. Ooh, right head kick by Levi, taking on the arms of Khbabez. Khbabez is hard as nails, man. His chin's made of granite. Right hand landed by Khbabez. They're both boys exchanging big shots now. They're just fighting now in the clinch. The ref makes them break. There's 50 seconds to go. Right hand landed flush by Levi, but Tarik just moves straight through it. Oh, left high kick landed by Levi, but he hasn't got enough gas tank to capitalize on it. These boys are exhausted. And they are absolutely exhausted. Levi had his hands on his hips, lands a jumping high kick. Looking to finish big right big right kick landed on the thigh of Levi by Khbabez. Combination by Khbabez. Low kick again. 10 seconds to go. Right hand landed. Spinning attack by Levi. Both boys are throwing everything. They're throwing the kitchen sink at each other. They're off balance, throwing punches. What a fight, man. What a crazy fight. That'd be a fight that with the crowd would be up on their feet going off. However, I have Khbabez winning that. Yeah, it's a completely my stream is frozen. It's a completely different game when people talking about those body shots and the leg kicks. One is how conditioned these guys are specifically to that, and two is their ability to just adjust their body at the last second so that they're not taking the shots flush, and they're extremely conditioned. And it's also a process of natural selection. You don't get to that level without being hard as nails. Um, yeah, so now I don't know because it's going to be very hard for anyone that fought a fight like that to fight twice in one night. That's going to be really, really hard. Con, hello from the Netherlands. Hope you're doing well, mate. Oh, sorry, man. Hope you're doing well, mate. I am, man. Thank you so much, and hello back to you, man. You guys do it right. I love the kickboxing. I want to go to Holland, man. I want to go to Holland at some point. Um, always wanted to. Jose Gutierrez. I don't, I don't think Paulo will out grapple Rob. That's my thing. I don't think he'll out grapple him. I think if they had a jiu-jitsu match, Rob would beat him. A grappling match, he'd beat him. Um, that was pretty crazy that fight. Out of the pen and into the fight against Rico for the winner. I'm sure they would have to have some sort of alternate somewhere, but man, that was a crazy fight. That Tarik goes hard as nails. Someone gave it to Levi, I think. One judge, I think. Yeah, I had it to Tarik. And now we got Cedric versus Murthel. Man, these guys are tough. And so now Levi goes to 12-1. Man, he took that flying knee that he took. That flying knee. Fucking hell. He took such a shot right at the chin. I'm impressed with Tarik. Let me just see something here with Tarik. Now he took a really big shot. I'm really impressed. His chin, but I don't think he beats Rico. I don't think he beats Rico on the best of days, but I don't think he beats Rico now. So his last one was a loss against Roman Kriklia in one championships. He's beaten Anderson Silva. He's beaten a lot of really good guys. Um, but no, it's a different animal, man. Rico's a different animal, and also you're unlucky enough to catch Rico on this day. When you've had the extra beating. Delgado, oops, I was trying to join chat and accidentally pressed dislike, but I pressed it back to like. I always like as soon as I join. Delgado, you're the man. Thank you so much for liking. Please, I forgot to say it. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get any and all of the notifications that we have. Please do so, guys. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This fight's going to be fireworks, man. Doumbe versus Groenhart. I'm really looking forward to that one. I actually invested in this one even more so just because I've had Doumbe on the podcast. Um, Asha says, "Can someone tell me what level kickboxer Adesanya was?" elite or just fought low level guys. I don't watch much kickboxing. Elite, elite, elite. The guy that's going to fight, not this fight that's coming up, the next fight is Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira has 2 wins over Adesanya, and Alex Pereira is the best middleweight kickboxer around. He's actually going up to, he's an interim light heavyweight title holder, and he's going up to light heavyweight to take the belt if he can at light heavyweight. So he's pretty much the ant's pants. Israel has 2 losses against him, but he did very, very well against Pereira. So yeah, his level's high, very high. He's fought a lot of good guys. Brutal to have him fight twice in one night. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, but it's interesting to watch it. Yeah, Izzy got KO'd by Pereira, but he was doing very well. He was doing very well in that fight. He absolutely was. Do you think there are more really tall kickboxers because they don't have to worry about the double leg? No, not because because being tall is not a bad thing for wrestling either. There are good wrestlers that are tall. No, it's because just range. Range is such a massive advantage in boxing and kickboxing. It's just an absolutely very just massive advantage. Did you watch? Yeah, he does, and I saw that KO that he had in LFA, and it's man, it's a different animal, man. When you're in there against those guys, it's not just a KO power; it's just the ability, like the difference in ability, stand up wise between him and his opponent are just huge. Yeah, I think Adesanya was doing really, really well in both fights. I really do think he was doing very well. Um, Again, it was a close fight. The first one, I can't say to you he got robbed. That's me. That's my opinion. Um, and he was doing very well in the second fight. But if you lose twice to someone, you can't really say like it was, you were robbed or whatever. Adesanya's super good, man. He's super good. It's actually again, it's one of those things when it wasn't robbed, I don't think, but it was one of those things when you see it and then you realize who Pereira is, rather than say, oh, you got robbed, blah blah blah. You just start to go, fuck, that's how good Adesanya is, because Pereira's no joke. How do I think Alex does versus high level MMA guys like UFC level? That's the thing I was saying before. Like, I think he can do very well, but I feel that his heart is in MMA. He's in kickboxing. I feel like even when he talks in that, he wants to establish himself in kickboxing. The way his mind works, I think, is the intricacies in kickboxing. He's getting better, and even where he's at today is different to where he was when he fought Adesanya. He's evolved as a kickboxer, whereas Adesanya has evolved as a complete fighter, as an MMA fighter. But he's the way that he thinks and the way that he's structuring things is as a kickboxer. So I don't know that he is going to chase that with the same vigor, or especially the more success he has. Um, yeah, you're probably right. Not robbed versus Alex, but versus Wilness, he was definitely robbed of the title. Right? I don't think so, man. Because different. Like Wilness was coming in. I don't think Wilness could do that to Adesanya if they had small gloves. But Wilness was coming in covered up and landing the leg kicks and landing and so I don't. They scored. They like it scored a different way. I didn't see Adesanya do damage to Wilness, and I saw Wilness landing a lot of clean kicks to the body, to the legs and body shots. So I don't think he got robbed against Wilness either. I don't think so. But again, it just shows you the level that Adesanya is. That's what it takes to beat him, is that level of guy. Guys like Wilness, guys like Pereira, and they didn't have it all their own way, man. So to me, I think like that's the level. Getting robbed would be like they gave me the fight. You know what I mean? I think in MMA it happens a lot where people go, got Cedric Doumbe and Groenhart, their second fight, right? Cedric was on the podcast here, and he feels he got robbed. Like it was a close fight. You know what I mean? You could probably give it to Cedric, but I don't think he got robbed. Robbed would have been they announced the winner and gave it to me. Fab, what's your prediction for AJ Fury's skill of Fury versus the athleticism of Joshua? Well, this is the thing. Fury is very athletic himself. He's got very, very good movement. He knows how to box. He knows how to move. He knows how to look for different angles. So can Joshua as well. I think Fury's like he's a big guy. He moves so fucking well. I think he matches AJ with athleticism. Just looks different. It just does it in a different way. But his ability to cut angles and have head movement and punch you from different angles is very hard. Who do I think will be like UFC lightweight champ at the end of the year? At the end of the year, I don't know because someone could potentially fight now and still have to defend it. But uh, it could be Chandler, could be Dustin, could be Oliveira. They're my front runners for that one. But then you have guys like Islam coming through. You have guys like Hooker who only have to win 2-3 fights, and he could be right in the mix as well. You don't know what Dos Anjos is going to do there. You know what I mean? Like Gregor Gillespie could come back out of nowhere, beat a bunch of guys. There's Brad Riddell in there. I don't know who'd be at the end of the year. At the end of the year, though, I do see it between those three. But the MMA game and UFC, there's so many events, so many fights. Like someone could put their hand up and fight almost back to back, and have two big wins and put themselves right in title contention. So it's like just about to be February here. So I don't know who, but it could be any of them, really. Um, who do you can Ngannou beat Rico in a kickboxing fight? No, we spoke about that earlier. In a kick, yeah, he can because he's got such God-given power, but I don't know that he'll necessarily that punch by Greenheart where he punched that dude who he was walking off. Fuck, that was a big shot. Um, I agree. Alex is a beast regardless. I don't mind him being fully dedicated to kickboxing. So, in answer to the first question, he could, but I don't think so. It's a very big difference, man. The rings, the ring versus the cage, the gloves, everything makes a big difference. Um, AKMMA says, I agree, Alex a beast regardless. I don't mind him being fully dedicated to kickboxing. Yeah, I mean it's amazing to see someone just taking it to different levels in such a specialized art. I like it a lot. Nagano gets eaten alive, in my opinion. Possibly, Jacob. Possibly. Indy Dillon says, does Volkanovski beat the new version of Holloway? I think those fights, man, him and Max are always going to be super fucking close. Super, 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 super close. Um, I think Max has to jump on Alex in the first and second rounds, like he did to Keita, like he did with Alex in the first and second of their second fight. But the thing with Alex is he's so physically strong. And what he has that's a rarity is he has power and strength and endurance. And he has that power and strength and endurance late in the fight. So if Max jumps on Alex early, like he did in the first and second, like he did against Keita, is he going to have it down the stretch the same way? And in the second fight, he didn't against Alex. And he kind of did slow down a lot against Keita as well. It's just that he landed, I don't know, a million punches. So of course you're going to slow down. So it's hard, man. Um, it's not that that easy, like there's a lot of factors. I think it's always going to be a tough fight between those two. They just don't match up any other way. You know what I mean? And the weight division that they're in means that it kind of reduces the chances of one punch knockout. Although Alex does carry that one punch knockout, which is another thing that Max has to be aware of. Um, I don't know. I think Max's performance was spectacular against Keita. I don't necessarily think that it's this new Max. Max was always fantastic. Um, he boxed Ortega up bad as well. It just shows the levels that he's at. And again, it just shows you the level that Alex is at to have had those fights with Max. Max looked fantastic in that Cater fight. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a close one. Like, there's nothing in both fights that they had. There was nothing in it. There was nothing in it. I'm not going to say, oh no, Alex just smashed Max. He didn't. It didn't even. It wasn't even close to smashing him. It was two guys that really fought down the stretch, both fights. So it probably will happen again if Volkanovski beats Ortega. But what is the story of the day you first met your wife? Did you approach her? Were you friends first, and were you nervous? We're actually we've only been married like 3 years, but we've known each other for like 15 years or something. She used to come into one of my classes because I'm older than her, and I was a teacher, and she was in one of my classes, um, and she was a kid at the time, and I didn't even nothing, and she was talking in my class, and she got in trouble for talking in my class, and yeah, I just said to her, that's enough. She was talking with one of her friends, and I was actually quite stern on her and told her that's enough. We don't need to hear your whole life story. Don't want to know what you did on the weekend or whatever. Some stupid shit. She was like 15 years old, and she got upset at me for um, telling her off. And then I didn't really see her for years after. Like, I'd see her because we lived in the same area, so I'd see her if I bumped into her or something like that. And but I'd always just said hello and thing. I was 8 years older. I am 8 years older, so I was like 24. She was 16, and I didn't have anything at all in my head. I was doing a whole bunch of other shit. But because we lived in in that area, we would bump into each other, and then we'd always see each other later, like in life. Like when she was an adult, I was an adult. We'd always like kind of knew the same people, so it was always like a little bit of contact just because we saw the same people. And then probably 3-4 years ago, we started talking more. We just started talking more, and yeah, that is it. Be good to see Gregor Gillespie back. I would definitely love to see Gregor Gillespie fight. Definitely. Do you think headbutts, soccer kicks, and stomps should be allowed in MMA? I really wish they were. Headbutts. Look, I'm not against headbutts. The problem with a headbutt is that it'll cut you like an elbow, and it could finish the fight relatively quickly. But yes, my answer to that, the short answer is yes. Um, Stomps are a little bit crazy, but I don't think they shouldn't be allowed. I think it changes the fight again. The dynamics get changed a lot. I'm a huge Brad Riddell fan. How far do you think he can go in the UFC? If you can't take him down, he can go real fucking far. The problem is in that lightweight division, you do have some very good grapplers at the top. Some really, really impressive grapplers. And I don't think Brad's not a good grappler, but it's not a secret that he's a fantastic kickboxer. So he can do very, very well. He can go the whole way. I don't think there's a new what's it say? Oh, AKM said, I don't think there's a new version of Holloway. Holloway looked that good because he wasn't fighting Alex anymore. That says AKMMA. In fairness, I think he looked really good when he fought Alex. I think, especially in their second fight, he came out really well with the right stuff to beat Alex. But Alex is also very, very, very good. You know what I mean? So that fight, mate, that fight, talk about close fights, it's a razor thin fight anytime. Gilbert Burns versus is Usman. Who you got? I really rate Burns. I rate Burns a lot as well. I I have to give the advantage to Usman. Not that I think necessarily Usman will win, but Usman has just got it done so much. You know what I mean? He's just got it done so much against whoever they put in front of him, however they put in front of him. He gets it done, and he's the favorite and he's not the favorite and blah, blah, blah against whoever they put him in, and he got it done. So he knows how to win. He knows how to win title fights, which matters a lot. He's been there before and he's won.
He's beaten everyone. The difference is that they've had, I think I read somewhere, they've had hundreds of rounds of sparring together. So they both know their weaknesses, they both know their strengths, they both know where each one has to go. One of the interesting things that Burns was saying is that Usman off his back isn't the best, isn't that great, and probably true. He's a big, strong wrestler, has wrestled, but he's also a BJJ black belt in his own right. And Burns himself, as a BJJ player, is a top player. And so when people talk about, um, oh, someone's good at jujitsu, someone's good at wrestling, it's yeah, they're good at that, but they're good how? If he's a good wrestler, was he a great double leg? Was he a great double legger? Was he a guy that's initiated scrambles so he could out scramble you? Was he a defensive wrestler? There's a lot of different types of wrestlers. So they all know those little intricacies about each other. That's what makes this fight really, really interesting. If Volkanovski would have been a couple of inches taller, he would KO Max. Yeah, but you can't really say that. If Volkanovski had been a couple of inches taller, he'd probably be a lightweight too. So the fight's about to start. The fight's about to start. Cedric looks pumped. Murthel looks pumped as well. We're about to take off. Cedric's already in the center of the ring, ready to go. And we are off, people. Jab to the body by Cedric. Right low kick by Cedric. Inside kick by Murthel. High kick by Murthel. Body kick by Murthel. This is the thing, he's talking about the Jason Wilness fight versus Israel. The way that the striking is judged, like you got to keep the volume up. You can't not, like not answer low kicks because they're strikes. They add them up. They add them up. Both boys trading low kicks here. Cedric looks very physically strong. Another high kick by Murthel. Smart by Murthel to keep Cedric's right hand at home. 1-2 and a low kick by Murthel. Another jab to the body by Cedric. Low kick by Cedric. Left hand by Murthel. Another jab to the body by Cedric, and then he goes looking for the jab to find a home on Murthel's head. Nice uppercut. Nice uppercut by Murthel, and then he goes looking for the right low kick. Another right low kick by Cedric. Cedric's kind of bullying Murthel back. He lands a combination, an uppercut, and they're swinging for the fences, both boys now. Cedric felt something there, and he came looking for it. Came looking for the finish. Low kick by Cedric. Another jab by Cedric. Right hand's wing and a miss by Cedric. He's backing Murthel up. Another jab to the body by Cedric. Tip by Murthel, then a low kick by Cedric. Both boys fighting in the clinch now. Another tip by Murthel. Right low kick by Cedric. Tip by Murthel. Inside kick by Murthel. Cedric signifying that it was low. Right hand over the top by Cedric, and the boys clinch. Inside low kick by Murthel. High goes high with the left kick, does Murthel. Jab by Think. Nice combination by Cedric. Cedric goes looking for the body rip. Doesn't land a flush. Murthel lifts Cedric's leg up and throws him to the ground. Cedric throws that overhand right. He's got a lot of power. Looking for the body rip. 40 seconds to go in the first round. It's been action-packed thus far. Murthel inside low kick lands on Cedric. Cedric with a jab. The ring appears to be slippery. Both boys have slipped on the canvas. They're going to have to address that in between the rounds. You don't want to imagine slipping and falling to like a flying knee or something. That would not be fun. Swing and a miss. Cedric swings both right hand and left hands. And that will be the end of the round. And Cedric slipped again right at the end of the round. They're going to please clean the ring, someone. I'm watching to see if they're, I don't know if they're slipping on the sign or what. That is exactly the right word for Cedric, is calculated pressure. Who did you have winning the second Holloway versus Volkanovski fight? I didn't have anyone winning that. I just thought it was super close. You can see my reaction. We did a fight companion for it, so I just was like, "Whoa, that was." I didn't think about one. It was one of them was going to win that fight. I just thought it was super close as I watched it live, as I watched it together. It was super, super close. A lot of the times, like, man, the thing about the robberies, I don't like that narrative. Like, it's created by the media. Great. It's for something to talk about. But had Max have won that fight, I can't say he got you robbed it. Alex. Thank you for the compliment, Thick Jesus. Yeah, Cedric's shirts are interesting. So we're off again in the second round. 1-2 by Murthel. Murthel goes looking for the inside low kick again. These dudes are so hard, man. Oh, they trade low kicks. I think Murthel got the better in that exchange. Murthel goes inside leg kick again. Goes up high with the left high kick. Goes looking for a big check hook when Cedric drops his level to come in with a body jab. Nice little combination there by Murthel. Murthel's kind of like erratic. It's hard to get his timing. I think he hit Cedric there. He hits Cedric with the right hand. Cedric pushes him off. Right hand over the top by Cedric. Murthel, Cedric landed a big right hand. Big right hand by Cedric. Murthel's going to get the count. Big right hand. I think he's just chilling out now, waiting to get up slowly. Smart by Murthel. Smart work. That was a big right hand that landed. Cedric lands a nice jab straight after. Another right hand lands by Cedric. Left low kick landed by Murthel. Left check hook landed by Murthel on Cedric. Cedric's looking for that overhand right. Hits him with a huge combination, ending with an uppercut. Now another uppercut landed by Cedric. Cedric goes looking for that uppercut. Lands a combination of the boxing combinations. Cedric goes, Murthel goes looking for that inside low kick again. Again with the inside low kick does Murthel. Right hand landed by Murthel. Oh, he staggered Cedric. Both boys get staggered with right hands. They exchange big right hands. Both boys do. Big right hand landed by Murthel. Good chin shown by Cedric. Oh, shit. So Murthel goes, jumps, does a flying knee, right? And flips over the fucking ropes and lands on his back. And he seems to have hurt his back. Cedric's looking bored at the neutral corner. I'm pretty sure as well, just so you guys know, Brad Riddell fought Cedric Doumbe and lost the decision to him. So you're asking me how far can Brad Riddell go? Pretty fucking far because his stand-up's good. And also he has a win over John Wayne Park. Albeit John Wayne Parr's a little older and whatnot, but still, like you don't beat John Wayne Parr just for fun. Murthel flipped over the ring. He did like a somersault. Man, like he full flipped in the air over, he like hit the ropes and flipped. He threw a flying knee and flipped. So he threw a good combination. He was coming forward, but Cedric was doing a good job of moving backwards and slipping the punches. And then, that knee, if he had got Cedric, would have been bad. But he flipped completely out of the ring. When they told Max how many strikes he threw versus Qatar post-fight, he laughed and said he wondered why he was getting so tired. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he'd have to come out like that. And if Alex is still there, he can still keep coming. Kind of what happened in the second round, in the second fight. You know what I mean? The thing about fighters like improving, like, he just improved. He left this team, went to that team, he just improved. It's like, a lot's got to do with who you're fighting. That's a big thing. And if you trained in Poland for 5 years, Cedric hits him with a massive right hand, with a huge right hand, huge one. Murthel's not going to get up from this. Murthel's not going to get up. That was such a massive right hand. No way they're going to, no way. They stopped the fight. Oh my God, hit him with that right hand. The power that Cedric has is crazy. He's got so much power. Murthel, he'd gotten up, but now he's laying back down. He's out still. Right rip to the body by Cedric, and then a massive overhand right. That's a question you guys are talking about, like Francis in kickboxing or whatever. If you don't know how to use the ring, like you get cut off in the ring. You can cut the ring off. It's much harder to cut the octagon off. It's different. You can't cut it off like that way. My God, that right hand landed so hard. Boom! Right on the chin with all of Cedric's power behind it. Yeah, a lot of so what I was saying was you see, I don't know, someone fighting in Poland for 8 years, right? And then they go to American top team. I just made this up, or any big team, whatever, any other team, right? And they lost, say, 2 fights when they were fighting with the people in Poland. Then they go to American top team. They win the next 2 fights. And people go, "Oh my God!" And I'd said American top team just to pick that team, just because they're a big, well-known team. And people go, "Oh my God, see how much better they've gotten." And it's like, dude, a lot, like it's got to do with who you fought and the training. The 8 years of training is not superseded by the 6 months you've spent in this new camp. You know what I mean? You're getting those results 90% based off the work that you did before. Now, like, did they show you new things? Could you have learned new stuff? Did you need the break? Did you need the change? Absolutely. And you should have changed. And that's great. But that's not just why you won. You know what I mean? So um I think like Max and Alex is always going to be a tight, close fight between the two guys. Is going to be, I think, can Max come out and put that pace on Alex from the start and then keep it going towards the end? That's going to be the difference, you know? Knees to the head on ground and opponents to punish wrestlers. Dude, watch Pride where you could knee to the head and the wrestlers were doing the knee to the head. Because the wrestlers can get the front headlock and knee the shit out of someone's head. That would be perfect for wrestlers. It's very hard for you. Like you'd have to, you know, like they're not dumb. They're not going to keep their head there. Brad will make it top 5 for sure. Super excited for him. Yeah, Brad's very, very good. I've always thought that soccer kicks to the head are only really effective in situations where the fighter is basically totally vulnerable. Maybe I'm missing something though. Not necessarily. You can like if you picture you're in guard and I'm standing up. If I can get around you just a little bit and throw the soccer kick, I can land it. You know, so it does change things. It just changes stuff overall. Who won the welterweight fight? Cedric, winner by knockout, second round. Huge knockout, huge shot, huge shot. I believe that Usman he's underrated. Honestly, I do believe that he's one of those guys that's underrated, which is fucking insane. Pretty sure Brad is fighting Gregor Gillespie next. That'll be a huge test. I think that'll be a huge test for both of them because Gregor Gillespie's stand up is nowhere near Brad's, and Brad's wrestling is not as high as Gregor's. So I really love those classical striker versus grappler matchups. Um, I agree with soccer kicks, but knees, I believe, are useful when the other guy has a low single leg. I mean, it would change the game completely. Like the headbutts, for instance, would change the guard. It doesn't mean that jujitsu would then become obsolete because jujitsu guys would just have to change the way they play guard with headbutts. You know what I mean? Like it's a very, very different thing. Um, but don't get me wrong, man. If you are going up against a better jujitsu guy, more than likely he's going to be the one headbutting. You know, it's the same as with the knees and with the wrestling. Like if you fight a guy that's a much better wrestler than you, he's going to be the one using that new rule against you. Not like you're not a good wrestler and you're just going to be able to knee these guys in the head. Nah, it's not. It's just going to change the game. I don't see anyone beating Usman, only Gilbert. Colby or George, but George needs the perfect game plan against him, and it would be interesting seeing Wonder Boy against Usman. I agree on more or less everything you said, but I do think that those fights, like with George in particular, I'd like to see George in there with the full camp. Have you changed your mind on what is the single most important discipline in MMA over time, Fab? Traditionally, it was wrestling. Do you feel differently now than to when you first got into the game? I think my opinion, right, and I never actually trained in this style. I think the best for me is I would think is collegiate wrestling, folk style wrestling, simply because it's so continuous. It has the escape, it has the hold downs, it has the riding elements, the way that it's scored on the ground is different, and it's got the takedown elements. I think that that's a really good, and so you have a stand up element in that you're not striking, but you're trying to take the person down. But having said that, that doesn't make it the best. It's who can apply this style the best. So I think for me, I think strikers have. I've always thought this. I've always felt strikers have a massive advantage over grapplers in that from the get go you've been punched in the face and you can fight. Whereas grapplers, you can be world champion jiu-jitsu guy and never ever been punched in the face. And being punched in the face changes the game. It really changes it. Having said that, the grapplers that can then become good enough for strikers will be able to deal with striking have really really good success as well. But yes, strikers have that massive advantage that they from the get go have been punching. Murthel is losing his footing, sliding around. Yep, Cedric cracked him. Yeah, no, the event's not over, Ruben, but Cedric just knocked Murthel out. Um, I'm just making sure I can kind of catch up. I don't watch any kickboxing or Muay Thai. Do you see fighters landing those calf kicks, McGregor Poirier style, and getting dead legs, etc.? You don't see it the same way, just because of the stance. So you don't usually have that bladed stance in in kickboxing. So whilst you see the calf kicks and the leg kicks, you also can't throw them with impunity because the guy's stance is completely different. So he can check your kick. If you're both standing in front of each other and you throw a kick, the guy can check your kick and he's going to check your kick. And you know he's going to check your kick. So you can't just throw it with complete impunity. So you see the combinations happen, really good combinations, and you see the guys throw the chops straight after it. Having said that as well, like their conditioning for those kicks is a lot higher than MMA guys because that's all they do, you know. Um, so yeah, it's not the same kind of stuff, and it's very hard to throw the leg kick, the calf kick against someone with a square or more Muay Thai stance. Yeah, exactly what I just said, Jacob Birdsong. Muay Thai kickboxers are generally not heavy on the lead leg, so it's not as easy a target. Yeah, and they're more square. They're more square, so they're able to just stick their leg out. You can break your foot very easily when you throw a calf kick. Um, when will Rico fight? I think there's Alex Pereira after this, and no, there's three more fights. So two more, and then the Rico fight. So there's still, I'll tell you the people. I'll just get in up now. There's still um no, there's Artem Vakhitov versus Alex and then Rico. So one more. I think an advantage. Yeah, like Pranav. So you say, I think that an advantage of strikers have that transition to MMA's body conditioning. Dudes are built like stone. like the thing is, you're you're all um you're all like everyone's conditioned. Like wrestlers are conditioned, the jiu-jitsu guys are conditioned, but they're all conditioned to their sport. But they're not conditioned to taking strikes. That's the thing that, like you're saying, like the conditioning that the strikers have is, man, they can take a shot. They can take a shot. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm back, people. Um, Connor's got a real wide stance too. Yeah, he does. But the whole point of you having that wide bladed stance is for you to be able to move in and out. And in that Dustin fight, Connor wasn't. He wasn't moving in and out. So it was kind of like weird because he had that wide stance and he went in to fight him up close and to outbox him. You'd think he'd have a more narrower stance in that regard. I think an advantage. Yep. Thanks for checking. Chirf Fab, what's going on? Can you please watch that video I made of you left in the comments? All right, I will look it up. I will. Cedric Doumbe, new champion. Do you think Alex will be able to beat Adesanya if he goes to MMA? That's the difference, see, because Adesanya has the more octagon experience, and that matters massively. Huge, 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 huge. So if they go out and fight, it's not as simple as it just being a K1 match in the octagon with 4-ounce gloves, because the ability to use the ring and the ability to use the octagon to your advantage is very, very subjective in each setting. So, for example, now I believe that Adesanya would have a huge advantage in his ability to use the octagon against Pereira. I think if they fought now in kickboxing, Pereira would have a bigger advantage in the ring. Both guys are supreme athletes. Both guys are really, really, really good at the striking game. So I don't think it'll be an easy one, but I think in the octagon, Israel has the advantage right now. Is Glory a big deal in the MMA world? I don't know if it's a big deal in the MMA world, but it's the ants pants in the kickboxing world, and like I follow it, I like it. Yeah, Alex is next. Um, hey Fab, I was reading up on how YouTube and Apple, etc., take from payments you receive from your fans. Is there another way or payment method to send you money to feed your daughter? Man, if anyone wants to support the channel, and I massively appreciate that, if anyone wants to support the channel, please, there's a PayPal account. It's in the links below. So please support that way. It's a lot better for us. So yeah, I really appreciate that. A lot of good kickboxers are coming out. A lot of good fighters are coming out of kickboxing in general. Yeah, man. There's so many good fighters, and the talent pool, like say in somewhere like Holland, where you there's kickboxing is such a big sport, the talent pool is high. Thailand as well. Fuck, wait until that happens. Once the Thais start. But the thing is that in Thailand, for instance, just to give an example, the kids grow up wanting to be Lumpini Stadium champions, for instance. They, at least not yet, are wanting to be UFC champs. Once that kicks over and it's like, okay, I want to be UFC champ, that's what da 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 da. Because in fairness, though, that didn't happen with boxing in Thailand. Thai boxing was the same deal. Like you have had good Thai boxers, don't get me wrong, like Thai boxers. You have had that, but in general, if you were to take a cross section of 1,000 13-year-old boys in Thailand, most of them that want to be combat champions don't want to be UFC champions or boxing champions. They want to be Thai boxing champions. And I think in Holland, there's still that as well. Like UFC, although it's big, a lot of guys want to do this style, Glory, K1. That's the thing they want to do. If that changed and people were like, I want to do MMA, you'd have a massive influx of Thais, of Dutch, etc., etc. Will we see a spillover from the BJJ footlock revolution the last few years spill over into MMA? Yes. Yeah. I mean, footlocks have always been present in MMA. And footlocks aren't new to grappling, so to speak. But now, like the intricacies of the footlock game of the leg lock game is gone to another level. And so, yeah, I think so. I think, but it's hard because everyone's getting better at everything. People thought Izzy got robbed in the first fight with Pereira. We spoke about it. Which one should you start next, Beetlejuice out of BJJ or kickboxing? Whichever one you enjoy more, man. Whichever one you like more. Whichever one, when you go there, whichever place you feel more at home in, do that, man. Why do long fighters have so much power? Not all long fighters do. Like I said before, it has a lot to do with the size of your wrist, the size of your hand, but you wouldn't get to that level being a long fighter and not having any power. It just wouldn't happen, And then the guys like Israel, guys like Pereira that are long and have like thick kind of joints. Like if you look here, Pereira's elbows and that, like he's got like thick joints, That's one thing to look at for people to have power. Broad shoulders, thick joints, big hands, they'll have power if they're long guys. And then their ability, their range, and their ability to just touch you at the end of their range, and with a precision of power. Do you think we'll see a star in the UFC as big as Conor in his prime in the next 10 years? I don't know. But the thing is with Conor, I think that everything happened perfectly for that to happen. You know what I mean? Like I think that a lot of it is his ability to market himself, but I think it's also everything happened correctly for him to become as big of a star as it was. So Alex is walking in now, looking very, very intense as always. He's a serious person, man. I do agree that they put on a fantastic production, man. The Glory, I'm really, really liking it. I'm glad I got up to watch this, and it was one of the boys here that prompted me to do so. Oh yeah, you're gonna watch Clarissa Shields when she transitions into MMA, possibly, since she's gonna fight in the PFL. Yeah, absolutely. Clarissa Shields is a dangerous human being, man. She's gonna do very well. So now we have Artem coming in. He's a very good fighter, this guy. See, he has had a very extensive amateur career in Muay Thai, in the Russian system and in Europe and whatnot. And I think that really helps a lot in your just in your grounding, in your foundation skills. And I like how this guy just looks like he's a classically trained musician, and he looks it too. I like this guy. This will be a good fight. I got Alex winning it though. I believe. But I will say this: like those guys that have that extensive amateur experience in anything, their fundamentals are usually very, very, very sound. And you get very good at winning. You get very good at winning, understanding how to win. You know, big fan of like amateur sports. Uh, why didn't such a high level BJJ guy like Frank Mir have a better career? Um, I don't know, Hanoi. That's a hard one to say. Like he had a very good career. he 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 was a UFC champion. You know what I mean? It's a hard way to make a living as well. I think he had a couple of very serious injuries. He had a motorbike injury as well, and at the time there wasn't the kind of money. Um, he's still working. He was a UFC champion. He was still working security as a champion. I actually spoke to one of his coaches. Well, I'll get very close to Sergio Pena, and he was he was a coach for a long time for Frank Mir. Um, yeah, Fab, come back. We miss you. I'm back, man. Frank Mir was a heavyweight champion. What do you mean? Yeah, I agree with that as well. But I do understand sometimes you see people and you're like, yeah, you were the champion, but you could have done a lot better. I get that as well. But he did do well, he did do well. And I think that like I said, sometimes it's got more to do with timing, it's got more to do with timing. Like if you're a heavyweight champion today, not that you're getting massive money, but if you're a heavyweight champion today, you're in a lot better spot financially than you would have been as a heavyweight champion when Frank Mir was heavyweight champion. So Artem's walking into the ring right now, and he's here. I've seen Alex Pereira in real life, and he's another dude, man. Like again, like when people go, "Oh, this is how much someone weighs," and da 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 da, and you don't understand. It's not that even that is not indicative wholly of size, because like look, you look at him, he's 194 centimeters, 93.8 kilos. The other fellow who's a light heavyweight is 185 and 94.5. And you think with someone like Pereira, again, like Israel's similar build to Israel, is bone, skin, and muscle. That's it. Like that's how big he is. So we're off, mate. We're about to be off. I'm really interested in this. I really want to see the fight. This event's going on for ages too. Hey, we haven't even reached. We're not even near the end. We've been going for 3 hours and 10 minutes. I had to have some honey because I was starting to lose my voice. Listen, he's like, man, he looks the same at middleweight as he does at heavyweight. Literally is skin and bone and muscle. I can't wait for this fight. Also, guys, this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Please go to Manscaped to the website, get 20% off free shipping with the code name FAB. You will receive this amazing carry bag. You will receive these Manscaped underwear that make it almost impossible for you to chafe. For someone like me, it's fucking gold. And this thing is amazing because it preserves nuts and makes sure you don't chafe. And so does this thing as well. Very, very, very good things. And then you get these amazing clippers here. The fight's about to start, guys. The clippers are phenomenal. Please go to Manscaped, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. We're about to start, guys. We're going to kick off. Hugs all around. This is for the light heavyweight belt. Artem versus Alex. They touch gloves in the middle. They both exchange tips to begin with. This is what I mean with people like Alex and Israel. Alex looks bigger than Artem, you know? Like, again, big combination thrown by Alex. Like, he looks taller, longer ranger, but Artem's obviously thicker than him. But he's a big boy, is Alex. And you wouldn't think it when you first see him. Artem's doing a good job of trying to get inside, but Alex is just picking him off from the outside, landing the low kick. Right high kick by Artem. Nice work, but he's got to keep those hands up, and Alex is doing a fantastic job. Inside low kick by Artem, outside low kick by Alex, right hand by Alex. Jab to the body by Alex. Low kick landed by Alex. Right hand by Alex. But none of these are landing flush, though, guys. None of these are landing flush. Artem's doing a fantastic job of coming forward, landing a nice low kick on Alex. Alex answers it straight away, doubles up on the answers, ripped to the spleen by Alex. One of the important things as well when we talk about kickboxing and that, you have to answer the low kick straight away. That was a nice cheeky little knee to the thigh by Alex. My screen has frozen. Please come back. They're off the screen too. Everyone's off screen. Oh, now we're back. 1 minute and 20 seconds. That was a cheeky knee to the thigh by Alex. Just the vocabulary of strikes is really, really superb. If someone kicks you, you got to answer that kick back in kickboxing. You got to strike back. You can't let the person start getting those points up on you and damaging your legs. Alex doing a fantastic job of keeping him at bay. Lands a knee overhand right by Artem. Alex landing nice little check hook there and a jab, right hand. They both exchange right hands. Artem throwing a nice combination and then a leg kick uppercut landed by Alex. 1-2 landed by Alex and another right hand landed by Alex. Both guys landing good punches here. There's 20 seconds to go. they're in the break. The referee we will see a 15 seconds. Left rip to the body landed by Alex. A lot of clinching. Alex is working on that lead leg. There's 7 seconds to go. 1-2 by Alex. Left high kick by Alex. Teep by Alex. Great. That was very, very good round, man. I think Alex won that first round, in my opinion. Super bad, man. And again, gives you an idea of where Israel's stand-up is. He's got such a large vocabulary of strikes, though. Yeah, very smooth. There's no tell with what he does. Like, you can't see if it's coming low, high, to the body, to the head. He just throws them out there. It doesn't load up, but he's got power. And he's working that lead leg. This Artem guy is good too, man. That right high kick that he threw was money. Alex got out of the way of it but it was good. Feels like any left Alex throws could end the fight. Yeah. And his right hand down the middle as well that he's throwing. Again, throws a nice little low kick that he throws is very good. We've got no tell. Check the inside kick, did Alex. Hits Artem with the combination. Artem takes it on the gloves. The boys are clinching. Teep by Alex. Left hook by Alex. The punch is blocked by Artem. Artem goes looking for a left high kick. He gets his legs up really well, does Artem. He's got nice flexibility, and he had a karate background up until he was 11. He started training when he was 5 in the tutelage of his father, and then he went on to when they changed cities, he started doing Muay Thai. Big right hand thrown by Alex, and another knee to the body by Alex. And again, he throws that knee into the thigh. Very, very cheeky. Again with a knee to the thigh. Then a jumping left high knee. Ooh, and then he went for another knee, but Artem hit him with a nice left hook. Seemed to have kind of stopped Alex a little bit. These guys recover so well, though. Artem hits him with a nice right hand and now hits him with a left hand. Alex goes looking for a left hook. Right knee to the body by Alex. Jabs, they exchange jabs. But the punches of Artem are starting to get through Alex's guard. I've noticed that he's been hit quite flush a couple of times. Jab to the body by Artem. He's now in boxing range. He has had some success with Alex in this range. Hits Alex with another overhand right. Alex is rolling with him, but he is taking these shots to the head. Another left hook, partially blocked by Alex. Well done by Artem. Right hand landed by Alex. Left knee to the liver by Alex. Another knee to the thigh by Alex. Another low kick by Alex. Jab by Alex. In this boxing, ooh, right hand. Ooh, another right. They exchange right hands. Alex with the low kicks. Left rip to the body. Right hand. Alex goes looking for a flying knee, but doesn't execute it. Right hand to the body by Artem. They exchange right hands. He hits Alex with a left hook. Alex rolls with it. Nice right kick by Alex. Left high kick by Alex. Artem with the combinations. They exchange punches. And that's a round, guys. He doesn't load up on that left hook at all, and it still just kills everyone. Yeah, but this Artem guy's doing a fantastic job of nullifying that. Alex got stingers in his hands. Yes, he does. Yeah, Artem's coming back with the hands a bit there. It looks like Artem has landed some big shots on Alex. Alex is kind of like when the shots come and he gets hit and then he rolls with it, which is it's not easy to do. Like you have to have a lot of experience. It's not something you can just practice. Like go hit me and roll with it. Like he gets hit and he rolls with it. He's not rolling with it and then he gets hit. He feels that he didn't get out of the way and then he rolls with it. It's very, very hard to do, but he's been doing it, but still you're getting hit. I was thinking that Hanoi trip. I was thinking that about his sister. I was thinking like she's so expressive. You know what I mean? In what she does. She's won me over. Both girls won me over. I'm a fan of both girls that fought. But yeah, like her expression is so like raw, like it's so sincere. Alex is looking for a jab. Left high kick by Artem. And you can see it in him. He's got that different dexterity in his kicks that does come from having had a karate training in his time. Another low kick by Alex. Like that left high kick that he does it so well, and it is a little different to the way other people do it. Nice low kick by Artem. Alex is looking for a home for his left hook and for the 1-2. Artem comes over the top with the left hook, but Alex slides out of the way. Alex slides out of the way of the right hand. Alex jabs the body. Alex goes up high again with the right hand. Artem's moving, looking for different looks. He hits Alex with a little jab. Alex goes 1-2, and then Artem goes left high to the body. Alex with a nice little right low kick. Then he goes looking for a high kick. Oh, big right hand landed by Artem on Alex. He landed that shot. Got a good chin, does Alex as well. Jab to the body by Alex. Right hand to the head by Alex. Alex goes looking for a flying knee again. But Artem's doing a fantastic job of not getting caught in that mid-range where Alex will be so dangerous. Right low kick landed by Artem. Right hand landed by Alex. Oh, right high kick partially landed by Artem. He doesn't land him flush like Alex takes him on the arm, but dude, believe me, it hurts, and you know it. You know when you feel that. Right little right hand landed by Alex. Artem goes looking for that right hand. Right hand by Alex, and then a knee in the clinch. There's 48 seconds to go. Left rip to the body there. Left high kick by Alex. Alex hits him with a little right hand lead. Right low kick by Artem. 1-2 by Alex. Low kick by Artem. One, two, and then they clinch. 11 seconds to go. Round 3. Left high kick by Alex. Teep to the body by Alex. 1-2 by Alex. And that's the round. 3. I would have to say that all 3 rounds are to Alex. That's my opinion. From my minimal boxing experience, amateur in one fight, rolling with shots comes with staying loose in the shoulders. Yeah, but rolling with the shots the way they do, it comes from experience, man. Because like you can't even stay loose in the shoulders without you having that experience. Rico's next. It sometimes bugs me how MMA fighters want to touch gloves many, many times throughout the fight and at beginning of rounds. I like how it's not as common in kickboxing and boxing. So one guy can get the I'm waiting for your finish here thing, competitive advantage from a fast start without coming off as a bad sport. Loving the commentary, brother. Oh, Pip Dennison. Thank you, sir. Just so you know, Pip, Pip Dennison is my other surfing coach and a local Wollongong legend. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Who do you think is winning? I think Alex is winning. I think Alex is winning 3 rounds. We've kicked off in the 4th round, but it's close, man. It's close. I think Alex is winning though. Alex goes looking for another left high kick. Right teep to the body. Left high kick by Artem. Artem going for it again. Left jab to the bottom by Alex. Right low kick by Alex. Inside low kick by Artem. That was a huge shot by Artem. Artem's looking for the overhand right here, it seems. But he does that jumping switch high kick then. Just that dexterity, that karate background, it certainly helps. Inside low kick by Artem. Jab to the body by Alex. Little left hook by Alex. Artem's moving out of the way. Artem looks for the clinch. They exchange little knees in the clinch. Both boys standing in puncher's range, basically in the pocket. Alex is just landing a greater vocabulary of strikes, but Artem has landed some big shots. He landed a nice left hook just then. Inside low kick by Artem. And he puts a lot of power into that shot. Outside low kick landed by Artem. Alex goes looking for the left hook, lands a little cheeky leg kick. So does Artem. Right hand by Alex. Combination thrown by Alex, but Artem did a fantastic job of closing in, getting in the pocket, and getting the clinch. Left hook by Alex. All of which have been taken on the gloves of Artem. Man, Pereira has thrown double the amount of strikes that Artem has thrown. 200 strikes to 100 strikes thrown. Not landed, thrown. Very active as well for a light heavyweight. That's a lot of strikes to throw in 4 3-minute rounds. And it wasn't even the whole way through. Both boys exchanging. Alex leans and rolls out of the way of the counter. Oh, 1-2 by Alex. Nice. Taking on the gloves of Artem. Artem's looking for the shots. Throws a right head kick, but Alex was out of the way. Left hook, swing and a miss by Alex. Right uppercut. Inside leg kick by Artem. Knee by Alex. fantastic fight. Really high level, man. I like it. Oh, right hand landed by Artem. 20 seconds to go. That was a big shot. Little jab landed by Alex. 15 seconds to go. Alex is in the corner. Artem lands a big low kick. Another right hand and a left hand landed by Artem. They definitely landed. And that's the round, people. Yeah, I agree with you, Soso. He's starting to put them down. Man, it's hard because I'm not judging the fight. It's very hard for me to give a actual man. Artem's got a chin. You see the flying knee hit him with. It's hard for me to say because when I'm watching it, as I'm commentating, sometimes I say one person's name more than the other. That combination of punches that he landed, they actually did land. It'll be very interesting with a knockdown in the fifth. I'm not exactly sure there what would happen. Yeah, it's close, man. It's close. Like I thought Alex was going past with it, but now I don't know. I do not know. I've got one more fight after this. We're off, people. Nice low kick landed by Artem. Big combination thrown by Alex. High kick by Alex. Body kick thrown by Artem. This fight, leans back out of the way, does Artem from a left high kick by Alex. Oh, right hand over the top landed by Artem. Combination, another right hand by Artem. 1-2 then in response, Alex throws it. Another left hook by Artem. This is definitely Artem's looking very, very good. I don't know what a knockdown he will do, to be honest with you, because I don't know how the scoring has been. I haven't been scoring the fight. I've just been commentating it. Another jab. 1-2. Oh, nice little foot sweep there done by Artem. Flying knee by Alex. And those little trips and that, they really disrupt you, man. They disrupt your timing. They disrupt your breathing. Good little tactic to use by Artem. Jab to the body by Alex. Another teep by Alex. There's 1 minute, 24 seconds to go. I would imagine that Artem needs to get a knockdown to secure a win. I would imagine. I don't know though. It's hard, man, because I'm not commentating. Ooh, spinning back kick attempt by Alex misses. He falls to the ground. They're both standing up. Right high kick by Alex. Taken on the gloves by Artem. 1, 2, 3 thrown by Alex. Left uppercut thrown by Alex. They're clinching now. But definitely the bigger punches of this round have been landed by Artem by far. 1-2 swing and a miss by Alex. Misses with the teep. Artem is out of range. Now they're in the pocket. They throw the combinations and Artem comes back strong. Throws a left body kick. Jab and then a right hand to the body by Artem. The right hand to the top is going to come. I believe it. 31 seconds to go in this fifth and I believe final round. So Artem's the champion at the moment. Pereira is the interim champion. Is this going to be enough to take the belt? They exchange low kicks. Flying knee by Alex. Left hook by Alex. There's 10 seconds to go. They exchange left hooks. Both miss. Alex looking for the knee. He's moving Artem back. They clinch. There's 2 seconds to go. One. Time. Whoa, I don't know. I agree with you, Soso Youngin. I do believe with that Artem was able to put Alex in the back foot towards the end. I agree with you as well that it was very close and that is probably a 3-2 to Alex. I do agree with that. The problem with those fights, I think a lot of the times is whilst I can agree with you, I don't know sometimes down the stretch because you forget what happened sometimes in the first round, and maybe the first round wasn't scored to Alex. I don't know. It was a close fight though. That's what I mean. Fights like this, you can't really say it was a robbery. I think Alex won just watching it with me. But if they give it to Artem, it's not a robbery. He definitely came on late, did Artem. Man, those knees of Alex's down the middle are scary. They're really, really right hand. He's got a chin on him too, does Alex? And I like in kickboxing, they fight so much, so you don't really see undefeated dudes, Like I like that. They fight so much, they fight so different people. They have so many fights in a year. I like it. Let's see the decision. Big shots landed there. Alex looked great, man. He really looked great. So did Artem, man. I was impressed. A little headbutt thrown there during the hug. That headbutt in itself would have KO'd me when they hugged. Um, yeah. So overall, on the stats sheet here, it looks like overwhelmingly the volume of strikes goes to Alex. It's just a question of how the judges saw it, I suppose. So he landed 144 to Artem's 107. Artem threw a total of 153, and Alex almost threw 300. So he almost threw double the amount of strikes. Hold on. Sorry, people. My dog's paw got stuck in a drain. We got it out. All's well. Now they're about to do the decision here. I think Alex won. I do, and the stats, like he was much more active in the stats. But it was a close fight, and it was a fantastic showing by both guys. Absolute treat. If you like stand up, if you like kickboxing, it's an absolute treat to watch these two guys go at it. Man, this would be so nerve wracking. The waiting, the tension's killing me. Alex won it. He won it, deservedly so. Winner by split decision. Crazy fight. What a good fight. Yeah, the paw is well. Luckily, the big fella got his foot stuck in a drain grate just now. Probably chasing a rabbit or something outside, or I don't know what he was doing. Who knows? I was in here commentating. Coach, which one of the former UFC fighters would you like to come back? What do you mean, like an old school fighter that I really like that I'd love to see fight? Or someone that was a champion and now has kind of fallen off a bit. Is that what you mean? I honestly think Artem had the better moments. No, I agree. That's exactly right, Cooper Marion. That's exactly right. I think that like that's what people don't get sometimes. Like I think that the volume, etc. I definitely gave it to. See, it's interesting when you watch the scoring and you see the judges. They have 5 judges in Glory, and there's discrepancies. Everyone scores it differently, so it's a really, really interesting thing. So having more judges doesn't necessarily make it easier or better because everyone's seeing the rounds differently. But overall, I think they got it right, and I do think that when you watch the fight, exactly what you said is true. The better moments were probably had by Artem in that he landed some of those big shots like with the right hooks and the left hands a couple of times. Yeah, I mean, former UFC champions or former UFC fighters that went to a different promotion. Ooh, I don't know. You guys tell me some right now because I can't think of any off the top of my head. I've always been a Benson Henderson fan though. Always liked Benson Henderson. So probably him. Probably him. Oh, Demetrius Johnson, absolutely. Yep, for sure. Um, Fab, you look like Dave Brailsford. Okay, thank you. I suppose. Thank you. Fab, you going spearfishing today, mate? No, my daughter stayed over my mum's for a few days, for 2 days. We had a lot of work to catch up on, my wife and I, and that was we're going to go pick her up today and probably hang out with my mum and dad for a little bit. Volume was Alex, but honestly, strategy and better punches goes to Artem. Neither were particularly affected by the other. I agree with you, Cooper Marion. That's why when people go, it's a robbery, it's this and that, man. It's a lot of the times it's that. Like both guys go in and they nullify each other's game plan, and that's kind of what happened with these guys. Demetrius Johnson did not get the respect he deserved. No, he didn't. I met him in real life as well. He's fucking tiny, like a tiny, tiny guy. Even for flyweights, he's tiny. This would be such an upset if Rico loses. Yes, huge upset win. I I think Tarik shows massive heart, but he had such a hard fight, and he is a fair bit smaller than Rico. Fab, do you think small promotions in Australia are corrupt in terms of judging due to mafia guys being involved, etc.? I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I can't say. I don't really follow that. I don't really follow that in that regard. Um, Corrupt how, anyways? Like with the fights and that. Like MMA, you're lucky, and fighting, you're lucky. Like you might not get the hometown win if you get a close decision, but you're lucky because if you're better than the guy, you're gonna put the guy out, and that's it. It can only be so corrupt. The rest of it, I can't really go into, man. Thick Jesus, I couldn't agree with you more, brother. Um, Says Joseph. Is John Jones a goat? Well, he's one of them, isn't he? He's right up there. What time is it there for Fab? Right now, it's 9:40 a.m. I was up at 5 to do this podcast today. This looks like a pretty easy fight for Rico. It says Jacob Birdsong. I think Rico's definitely the favorite. I don't know if it'll be easy for him, but I think the fact of how hard Tarik had to fight previously will be difficult. Crazy that Demetrius fought the first half of his career at 135. Yeah, he's little, man. Did I ever compete in anything? Oh, not at a high level. I wasn't really that good at anything, but I competed in wrestling and grappling and um, taekwondo as a kid. Like nothing that you're going to say. Oh, this guy's fantastic. No, nothing amazing. Just a bit of grappling and taekwondo and that was it. Like I've had quite a few competitions, so to speak, but not anything amazing. Does John Jones become heavyweight champ? Does Izzy beat John Jones at heavyweight? I don't see John Jones beating Francis, to be honest with you. I don't know if he beats Stipe either. And there's probably a few other heavyweights in there. It's hard, it's different thing, and John Jones won't enjoy the same advantages. John Jones versus Izzy at whatever weight happens, right now I'd have to favor Izzy, I think. Coach Fab beat no, I would not. Don't ever say that. Joseph, don't even joke about that. Yeah, I don't. I think Izzy beats him right now. I think John Jones has probably had a little bit of his best days behind him. That's my opinion. If a draw is judged, what do you think about another round? I was in Japan watching their Shuto, and like you'd watch fights and they were close, and then like you wouldn't know who won, and then they'd speak in Japanese, and then they go draw, extra round, and they always had the extra round, and I liked it. I liked it. I don't know that the fighters like it because man, it's hard, man. You fight your heart out, and then they go, you got another round. I don't. I don't know if that would be fun. Now we got Tarik Khbabez versus Rico Verhoeven. This is pretty crazy, man. The plus 95 kilograms. I feel for Tarik, man. He's got balls of steel, that guy. Speaking of balls, Manscaped, 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. Yeah, man, the punishment he took in that semi-final was fucking crazy, man. They just went at it, and the amount of exertion that they put into that round, that was crazy as well. But here is Tarik. He's already kind of walking a little bit stiff on that left leg, I think. He's a serious cat, this guy. His face is already bruised up. I like this guy. I like him. I think it's cut out again. And now we're back. He's a serious cat. He's making his walk down. Legendary segue from Manscaped promo. It was seamless. It was smooth, just like you will be after using Manscaped. Go to Manscaped, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. That ought to have left you speechless again. So Tarik's about to make his entrance into the ring. I like it. Anyone here from the Netherlands? Anyone? I mean, there was someone here earlier, but is anyone still on right now that are from the Netherlands? I want to ask you, how big is Glory over there? Like, is it like kind of mainstream over there? Is it bigger than the UFC? I mean, soccer would be the number one sport. I know hockey's pretty big over there too. What's swimming's pretty big too. Is how big is kickboxing over there? Ja talk Nederland. So what's that? What does that mean? I'm Dutch but don't live there. Well, please answer. Please let me know the answer to my questions because I'm genuinely curious. Before Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, I was shaving with a real lawnmower. Let me tell you, this 3.0 is my new razor. Man, this thing is so good. Where is it? My clippers right here. This thing is so good that I now use it to mow the lawn. That's how good it is. So get 20% off free shipping with the code FAB. Whenever I meet a Dutch person, I ask if they know Overeem, and they never do. Glory is pretty big. Spoke with some builders about this fight yesterday. Yes, Netherlands, but the demographic is male and like 18 to 35. Oh, I see. So it's like 18 to 35-year-old men. But if you're an 18 to 35-year-old man, like would everyone would know it? Yeah, nah, the Dutch have had such good soccer always. They always have had such good football. Um, Unbelievable. I love their watching them play. Okay, so is a so is a mainstream like would if they fight now, would everyone talk about it the next day at work? Like in that demographic, will everyone have watched it? We are going to be here for more than 4 hours for this um this one. I couldn't hear that he called him out, but I was actually thinking about that. What are your thoughts on Pereira calling out Rico? I'll watch it. I'll do a fight companion on it. I think that one might be a bit of an ask because I think Rico's just too big. That's like 20 kilos, if not more, 30 kilos almost. Yeah, 30 kilos difference. And it's just a different dynamic of man, like just a so much bigger guy, bigger head, bigger hands, bigger everything. So that one might be an ask, but hey, let's do it. Legendary Mike's Gym. Yes, I like Mike's gym. Not mainstream. Big fights will get more attention though. Okay, cool, cool. I'm always interested in it. Well, Rico Beta was very popular because they're both very famous, and Rico is very marketable. So how big is Rico? Is Rico like big in the Netherlands? Would everyone know who he is? If Rico fights Glory becomes mainstream in the Netherlands, yep, he's popular here in general. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, Ruben. Say Kankermogul. Kankermogul. Has Bellator ever come to Sydney? No. Rico is possibly the best kickboxer on the planet, right up there. Rematch almost started a riot. We're about to go. We're about to go. Man, he took a lot of shots. Did Khbabez 38 headshots, and then you go straight into a fight. Rico took the more leg kicks, but still wasn't the same. Imagine that. That's like my omelette analogy. You're about to go into a fight, and you just an hour before you took 38 headshots. Jesus, that's so bad, man. My 80-year-old Dutch dad only cares about soccer, but he knows that the Dutch are the best kickboxers. I see. I see. Where are you, Thick Jesus? What country are you in? Oh, he's a voice actor. Rico. That's funny. That's so cool. Um, yeah, he is. Like he's no. At the moment, Rico's the best. I feel sorry for Tarik. He put on such a brave performance. It's 107 kilos, 6 foot, and Rico's 100, basically 120 kilos, 6'5" or something. That's crazy. And it looks like he's chiseled in stone too. He's 6'5", 119.6 kilos. That's a huge man, man. That's a huge, huge man. I'm in a tiny tropical island called Wallis and Futuna in between Fiji and Samoa. Wow. What are you doing there? If I landed if I landed a body shot on Rico, I would implode my wrist. I agree. Um, my mom is from here. I'm working for a few years and kind of stuck here because of coronavirus. In the Whoa, that must be is it really cool? Is it is it a really cool place to be? Kind of stuck there for a while. And what kind of work are you doing? That's actually you've intrigued me. 6'5" is so freaking tall in real life. Like if you saw Rico, 120 kilos, 6'5", he'd be the biggest human you've ever seen. Like right up there. We're off, people. We're off. Rico pouring away with a jab. Looks to land an inside leg kick, but doesn't. Throws a big right hand over the top. Tarik is charging in, throws a combination. Tarik is trying to cut that distance and getting close and throws combinations that he does. Rico looks to be manhandling him in the clinch, though. Rico feints. Tarik's a brave man, man. He just comes forward. Tough, tough man. Granite chin. Swinging punches, both of them swinging punches. Tarik are doing a good job. If he wants to win this fight or even a chance of winning this fight, he's got to make it ugly. Nice body rips by Tarik. Big body rips there by Tarik. Teep thrown by Rico. Nice jab by Rico. Another big flurry by Tarik, and then ends with a patented left kick of low kick of his. Right low kick in that case. Oh, throws a knee, does Rico. In the break, though. In the break. Rico apologizes. What do you do, though? After this monster lands a knee to your head, and he goes, sorry, what do you do? Like, it's not like your head's going to be all right because you said sorry. There's a massive size discrepancy, but Tarik, man, if he weighs 107 kilos, I'd say 20 kilos of that is heart. He's got such a big heart, man. Look at him go, man. Big right hand over the top by Rico. Rico's shoots a combination from a southpaw position. Jab by Rico. Another jab by Rico. Right hand over the top by Rico. Tarik's still in there, man. 56 seconds to go. Such a tough man. Tough man. Took a big shot there by Rico. Rico goes looking for an uppercut. Rico with the combination throws a right high kick. Nice combination by Tarik. Nice combination by. Oh, Rico with the. Tarik's just a wild man. He's just a wild man, making it ugly in there. Oh, nice inside kick by Rico. What a nice inside kick. Drops Tarik. 15 seconds to go. Another inside kick by Rico. There's only so many of those you're going to take, man. Another inside kick drops Tarik. Oh my God, those kicks, they hurt me. My God. As Soset Young, and I was thinking the same thing. I would like to see these guys fight fresh. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Rico does look like he's going to end Apollo Creed's career. I agree. Oh my God. Those kicks he lands, man. The inside leg kicks just dropped him twice. I think they're going to call it. I think he's injured. I think Tarik's injured. What are they negotiating? I don't understand it. It looks like Tarik said, look, I'm done. And they called it. They called it, yeah. Those shots were huge, man. Those leg kicks, inside leg kicks. I'd like to see it fresh, for sure. Rico is so much bigger than Tarik, man. So much bigger. Big hug, big sportsmanship. I didn't know either, Jacob Birdsong. I didn't know that they were going to do. I don't think they often do that Grand Prix on the night thing. But honestly, I liked it. I liked it. At least, it was tidy. We got the thing. But I don't like the fact that one guy comes in completely beaten up. Rico looks like he's been in a health spa all morning. And Tarik looks like he took 40 shots to the head before the fight. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please go to Manscaped and get 20% off free shipping with the code name FAB. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Guys, you can support us on PayPal. There is a Patreon coming soon, so I really appreciate that. Thick Jesus, I'll keep it short. Sorry, I'm on a 2-year contract as an assistant English teacher. They speak French and their native Walisian, which is close to Tongan. Thank you very much, sir, and I appreciate that, Thick Jesus. I really like that. Thank you very much, guys. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, go to Manscaped, get 20% off, free shipping with the code name FAB. I really appreciate everything, guys. We're very close to 30,000. Let's try and get this to 30,000 subscribers. If you want to support us, you can support us on the PayPal, and there is a Patreon coming soon. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.